And we are live! What's going on, everyone? Active Sin here. We're back for another episode of Team Red Talks Nintendo. This is our Super Mario Odyssey Super Show, but we got some other stuff to talk about before that. But before we even get to that, we got some guests and we got some regulars. So let's get going. Nia, introduce yourself and get on to the guests.
I can't hear you. You sound like a bot.
Yeah, you're
bot, man.
your joint is a little
trash ass channel.
You all sound body to me right now.
Man, you peasantry ass internet you got there.
wow.
Fucking kitty.
Alright, so I am Nia, the video game her, guys. Thank you guys so much for coming yet again to another episode of Team Red Talks Nintendo. It's a very special episode of Team Red tonight. So I'm very interested in getting into these topics, man. Let's do this.
Okay, so let's start with our guest here, Mr. Real Gamer.
Yeah, what's up, man? Anyway, we'll put on it's your boy again with another episode of the third best podcast in the land.
Oh, damn! It's like that.
First and second.
Okay. The best is the Real Talk podcast. The second best is the RG.
You're bottling crazy.
Who, me? I'm not botting.
Oh, is there only botting for me?
Yeah.
I heard him break that.
Oh, really? Man, I think you're in that.
Oh man, I didn't know that killed me.
It shouldn't be. It says stream health is fine. Everything's green.
Oh, really?
Maybe it's your Discord.
Hey, man. You're killing the mood here, man. Bro, it's Killington, man. Come on.
Trees in a way that.
Bro, you know he did that shit on purpose. Kind of like with me and Mr. T, we was gonna talk more about Sega, but Alex, we was like, you know what, we gotta stop the stream because Alex,
I didn't do nothing.
We was like, Alex, he about to start in a few minutes. But little that we know, you will start like in almost an hour. But I think you purposely did that shit so we can stop our stream. So even though you weren't there, you were still there. You troll even a good statement. I mean, I'm sorry.
It's from a guy who's in my family.
They're saying everybody's botting. Okay, maybe everyone just leave the call and make a new one.
Okay. I can
Give me a
hack
sec.
CTOS inside the loop.
Then I should be able to pinpoint the source of that call.
Let's do that. Who's building a new CTOS center in the loop? It's perfect.
DedSec tried to attack that center last month. We failed, and they just added more armed guards. So it won't be easy. Be careful.
You sound like my sister. Relax.
Hi.
Hi.
Okay, you guys sound. A little more normal now.
Got it.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh my God.
turned up the volume already, Arfan. Everyone's on. You can see everyone's maximum now, so you should be able to hear them.
So basically, since the 5 of us probably use more bandwidth, probably got to turn it down.
I think so.
That's what it is.
Turn down what?
Where you got yours on 5,000?
Yeah.
Blue hires private contractors to guard their CTOS centers. These guys will be geared up and wired for action. But I'll be ready.
real.
What is going on?
It's like, damn it,
How
damn.
like
come I
that,
can't
man.
hear anybody?
We hear you.
Yeah, you.
Hear
It's
you.
like y'all keep
I don't-
dipping in and out. I don't know what's up with that.
I don't think, did she even
I don't
dip
see
on?
you. Green now.
Seems fine now.
I don't see her as showing online. That's
For
weird.
me, I see her online.
Oh,
It's weird. Nia, maybe close your Discord and jump back.
All right.
Here, glad to be back on with you fellas and lady.
Is that better?
Yes, that's better.
Yeah.
Maybe we should do cameras off. Maybe there's too many people in here. Bandwidth problem. I don't know.
I don't know, man.
You didn't
People saw it
change
at least, or have some knowledge of Xenoblade Chronicles.
Yes.
Yes, excited. Yes, coming
Yes.
December 1st. This was actually a pretty good direct. I didn't really think we needed to see too much more because they've shown a lot of this game, but what they showed got me more interested than I was before, which is always a plus. We saw some new blades, saw new characters, some story elements, new worlds. Like, the game's looking good. And even visually, it got a huge boost from last time we saw
It
it.
does look
Yeah.
a lot better.
It looks a lot better. What do you guys think? Because Xenoblade Chronicles 2 Direct, were you happy with it? Are you more excited for the game? When we start with guest Mr. Chris here.
I was already getting the game. I got the special edition. I got 2 of them two of the controller pre-order.
Oh,
I
nice.
don't really need to see nothing else. I mean, the more I get to see, it's better. I'm into subtitles. I'm using Japanese voices.
Yeah, I was happy they added that in.
I don't need to see like nothing else. So I mean, it's already amazing. I was good when they said Xenoblade Chronicles 2. So when they said 2, I was like, well, this is day one. I don't care.
Yeah. Real, what were your thoughts? You saw the direct, yeah?
I saw half of. I think I saw like 10, 11 minutes. But I saw
That's
it.
most
It looks
of it.
like a really good game. It looks very beautiful. I love the art style. Is it use Unreal Engine? I don't know what engine it would use. I don't know.
I think they use an in-house engine.
In-house engine. It looks really cool. From what I saw, I didn't see scales. I don't see it where you just.
There's no skills in this game.
There's no scales. That's the bonus. But from what I saw, the story looks pretty cool. I'm gonna get it. Xenoblade Chronicles was a really good game, and it sucks that I didn't finish the game because y'all know what happened. I didn't want to go back to it, but I know for a fact I'm going to have a wonderful time with this game. So that's basically all I got. It looks cool.
Oh,
There's no Sonic involved in this game.
Oh my god, this dude.
There is some cross-promotion DLC. We can talk about that a little later. But Mr. T, what are your thoughts about Xenoblade Chronicles 2 here?
This dude has 2 pro controls. I can't even get one. That's why I can't get one.
Oh, damn, because Chris is out here buying them all.
Yeah, the direct was great. I was already all in. I have the special edition as well. I love Xenoblade Chronicles, beat that. Xenoblade Chronicles 2, love that, and I'm still leveling up. I'm at the last boss. Just like I told you guys last time. I must have died 8 or 9 times
Yeah,
with that
man,
boss.
you gotta get that overdrive skills up.
Yeah, I gotta get my
overdrive
OVI.
skills up.
I'm
What,
taking
on
your advice
X?
on that. Trying to get my overdrive up. Yeah, X.
Oh, okay, yeah. That last boss was a bitch.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
was.
yeah.
I didn't get him
Yeah.
until I really went and just honed in on my overdrive skills.
Yeah, you have to master Overdrive to beat that.
Yeah,
guy.
that's what I didn't do. So I'm going back and getting that up. So, but yeah, I'm the direct. Like I said, the direct looks great. Yeah, you're right about the game looking better. Like it looks way less ashy.
Yeah.
It used to look. So that's great.
They definitely did something, that's for sure.
I like the fact that you know all these looks like there's gonna be a lot of important characters and stuff. Something that X didn't have, so that's gonna be great. So, look forward to it.
Do it like this. Okay, yeah. I think how they showed how you chained the combos together was really cool because I was kind of confused how this new battle system worked. But I think how they showed it made a lot of sense. I find it's pretty interesting. I like how you can chain stuff together and make a super combo. That's pretty cool shit. You can really do that in X to the same effect as this.
It's basically Overdrive.
Yeah, it's like a different version of Overdrive, but you can combine it with other characters like together, three at the same time. So that's pretty insane.
That's pretty cool.
So it's gonna be pretty cool. I love the Japanese voice acting stuff. I think that's gonna be better than the English voice actors. I find English voice actors in Japanese games don't convey the right emotion. So that's nice that they added that in. The worlds look nice and varied. The game's it's gonna be a beast. Let's be real. Is it gonna be as good as Odyssey or Zelda? That remains to be seen. But like, I think they got another like big blockbuster game on their hands, and that's 3 in 1 year. That's pretty crazy. But yeah, let's move on to something. Something I've been waiting for a while.
Oh no! Don't you even start! Don't you even start! You know what? No, trash this subject. I don't want to talk about this subject. All you gonna do,
he's so triggered right now, bro.
And this jigaboo named Chris and this guy.
Wow! Sir, you need to contain your emotions. We're a classy podcast here.
This dude,
goddamn.
While you do not appreciate what you said about me,
you said that you came on this channel to troll me. When talking about something, trash. No, let's go, homie. I'm ready. I'm ready, man. Get your popcorn, get your fried chicken. I'm ready.
There's a little game that came out, I think on Tuesday. It's something one of the people in this podcast was very much looking forward to, and I have been trying to. Sorry, two people in this podcast have been very, very looking forward to.
Over the past few weeks, CTOS centers throughout Chicago have increased security due to.
It is time to finally have him bend the knee, as we have Sonic Forces for the PlayStation 4 with a Metacritic score of 57.
Chicago's safety is paramount.
Mario Odyssey 97.
See, this is what pisses me off. They keep trying to compare it to freaking Mario Odyssey. Let's stop comparing.
Hey, sir. I have a question for you, sir. Did you grow up in the Super Nintendo / Genesis console war? Yes or no?
See, it's like y'all just. It's like
I just asked you a question. I don't know what you get so mad about. So, did you or did you not grow up in the SNES / Genesis console war? So, how many times growing up did we hear that Sonic and Mario were the mascots for these companies and that you are to compare their games?
Well, like, come on, man. You can't compare that shit no more. Sonic has been trash like... Bend
the knee, sir! Bend the knee!
Didn't we not have a good Sonic game this year?
Sega doesn't even have a console, so that's not fair.
Technically,
wait, what are you talking about? Sega has a console. It's called the PS4.
Exactly.
No.
And you are welcome. You are welcome for something.
You are welcome.
Shut your ass.
Hey, sir. Sonic was messed up when Sonic started sleeping with real women. Okay.
Oh no!
That is actually facts, though. He ain't lying.
That is facts.
My man couldn't even stay on the level because he was too busy dipping in some other kind of mammals.
Since we have two long-time Mega Sonic fans in here, what went wrong, guys? 5 years of development for this game. What went wrong?
This was 5 years of development?
Yeah.
For this?
For this! Of 57! 5 years!
Come on. Hold on. Okay, 57 on Metacritic.
Yes, sir.
From what I saw, the game do not look like a 57. It looks more like a 65 to 70. No, hear me out. I'm not trying to damage control. From what I saw, this game looks better than Boom. Let's be real. This game looks better than Sonic 06. Let's be real. Why do you
would rather drink piss? Saying that you'd rather drink piss.
Get a better score than Sonic 4.
Because Lucky is it's a difference there though. Lucky is actually lovable. Lucky is actually lovable. No one loves Sonic anymore.
Oh no!
No!
If I may interject,
it's media bias, man.
Let Mr. T speak, please.
let me finish though. When I say,
Yes, let him finish.
Let me get through it. I'm gonna say that I agree with Real.
Okay.
I don't think the game deserves a 57. Do I think it's a good game or a great? No. I think it's being graded on a curve because the people who are grading it have the same affinity for Sonic as me and Real and other Sega fans. And because of that, they're expecting more from Sonic at this point. There's a lot of people out there that don't expect more, but coming from where we come from, we expect more. So we might judge it harsher. And I think that's what's happening with some of these scores, because it's obviously better than Sonic Boom and other games that
Super Lucky's Tale.
Super Lucky. It's better than Super Lucky. Come
Speaking of Super Lucky's Tale, that's sitting at a 64, by the way.
But
there's no way this is hot. The Sonic Boom's a 32. What are you talking about?
It deserves a low score because, I mean, I get into arguments with people. I've been on. I was in the comment section of RGT's channel.
Yeah,
he gave his review, and people were jumping on my head about. It's a good game. It's kind of, there's nobody. I mean, this is Sonic. This is supposed to be Sonic. He has to be more than just a mediocre. Okay, it's not that bad.
Exactly.
That doesn't do it for me. Like,
that's what I've been trying to say. Like, he used to be on par with Mario. That's how I remember Sonic. Right. And then you have this.
Has he been that way in a long time? No, but there's still. I mean, there's a part of me that wants him to be that. I feel like Sega should be able to make him that.
All right.
This is a lesson learned, though. Do not ever release Sonic games after Mario games. Don't do that no more.
Yeah, that's real.
That's another part of the reason why the game.
Or at least not so close to Mario.
Yeah, like you should have released it earlier, which is why.
Probably what.
That's the reason.
But like,
even still though, that's the reason why there are certain games you don't launch behind, because you don't want to draw those comparisons.
Don't want to be compared
which
to.
Is the same Horizon and Breath of the Wild get compared throughout the year. Mario and Sonic have a long history together. Why would you, for someone, you saw this game coming out, you decided to put that out? You deserve that 57. Hold that.
Like that, there are obvious flaws with this game. I'm gonna point some out. Real, try not to scream. The game is extremely short. From what I understand, the game is about 4 hours long. That's real. Why does it? I'm pointing out flaws. Can you just stop for a minute? Like,
game, Alex.
Real. I'm not gonna buy this game. It's a 57. Calm down. And so the game is about 4 hours long. That's I was not expecting it to be that short, to be honest.
So Telltale games are long.
Telltale games are long. A Call of Duty campaign is longer than this. That's rough. The game mechanically has some problems. From what I've been hearing, Sonic is clunky and slow. The 2D sections seem to be okay, but the 3D one's not so great. And a lot of people are not liking that custom character. Apparently he's not that fun to play with. The music's good. That's what most people are saying. Even Sean Long, like, I watched his review that one you were talking about, Mr. T. From all the stuff he was saying, I thought he was going to score the game a little higher, but I was reading their review on their website. He gave it a 6.5.
Okay, that's I don't mind 6.5. That's okay. It's not great. It's okay. But overall,
it's not okay for
Sonic. No.
It's not okay for Sonic.
No. Hear me out. Okay. As a Sonic fan, no, I want more than okay, more than mediocrity. I want amazing. Amazing. Not good, amazing. You hear me, Alex? Amazing.
Yeah, you should want
amazing.
You know what would have been amazing
if
this game was not made.
That's see, I can't even get nothing.
I didn't say nothing.
It's freaking. Oh, you know what? I'm trying. Lord, please give me the strength not to choke this.
Just talk. Oh my God! Just say what you want to say.
Okay. Oh, God dang it. Okay. Well, I was saying. You see how I say me? I always want to jump on. Okay.
Just
Sonic. Okay.
I've got better to do.
Is basically not what we want as Sonic fans. That's basically what I'm saying. We want, like, it doesn't have to be compared to Mario, but back in the day it was, because they used to have the console war going on. But let's just be real, the past 20 years, like, there's no comparison, because Sega basically tarnished their franchise. But since it's tarnished, like, it's still popular. Like, people still want a great Sonic game. People is still waiting on a Sonic Adventures 3. we still waiting on that. Like, even though, like, when they had that Sega event, when they showed off Minia and they showed off Sonic Forces, like, people, like, majority of the questions, when they had the Sega had the little question deal, a lot of people asked about Sonic Adventures 3. They have nothing to say about that. That's what I'm saying. Like, you're not going to listen to your consumers, then this is the feedback you're going to get. Even with the people that's scoring on the Metacritic, like, a lot of them love the older Sonic games, they love the adventure games, and let's be real, like, they might be a little biased, just a little bit. But then again, I'm not saying that the game is good, but as a 55, no, it's better than 55. I would say, like, 6.5 was Shina's though. I say maybe 6.5. But Adventures, like, that was the last great Sonic game that we had. And
Generations.
Well, yeah, that was really good. Yeah, they should have built the phone generation, but they decided to listen to their fan base and trying to cram everything that was wrong with the Sonic franchise into one game, and I did not like it. That's probably why a lot of people did not like the game. So that's all I got to say before Neo gets mad at me. So
okay. So yeah, Sonic, not great. Let's move on. So next we have third parties on the Nintendo Switch. Third parties are happy and they are flocking to reach the Nintendo Switch. We'll start with Take-Two, who are very pleased with the NBA 2K18 sales on the Switch. First off, who here has 2K on the Switch?
Me.
I do.
Is it good?
It's awesome.
And they fixed the online problem, right? You can play with friends now?
Yep, they were friends. It was flawless.
Excellent. All right, that's good. Let's see what they said here. The president or CEO said, so in terms of our other titles for the Switch from Rockstar, Rockstar has not made any announcements yet. And of course, as you know, our labels make announcements about what's coming out. We don't intend to do that on these calls. But clearly, the install base of the Switch has grown rapidly, and it is potentially an exciting platform. We've already put out a title for basketball, so we are supportive of the platform corporately. So they're happy. They want to put more games on the Switch. I would imagine we're going to get Grand Theft Auto 5. That's the big one. I think that's the one most people would want. Yeah, this is exciting news because Take-Two wasn't really around during the Wii U days for the most part. They kind of ran off pretty quick. But 2K18, it was on the top of the eShop for weeks. So, like, it's selling well, and we could potentially get Grand Theft Auto 5, maybe Grand Theft Auto 6, depending when that comes out. But, like, what other games from 2K do you guys want to see?
I don't really play enough 2K games, but GTA would obviously be one.
They could do a BioShock or a Borderlands.
Do they do that?
Yeah, that's 2K.
That's 2K.
I would love to see.
But they have a new entry of something coming out by March 2018, according to them. So I would assume that maybe if it's Borderlands 3, which is probably more than likely than it is BioShock, if it's Borderlands 3, I'm assuming they, of course, would pick the 1 and the 4, and why not put it on the Switch? I mean, that support would be there. So
they might put over that BioShock collection.
That would be greatness.
Yeah, they just recently brought that. That was this year, right, for PlayStation and Xbox?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so that might be in the works. I don't really play too many 2K games, so I'm not too familiar with their lineup. I think Borderlands would be the
better fit if it was me. I would want to. I don't know if I just because I use my Switch for exclusive, but that would be something I'd probably double up on and buy it on PS4 and the Switch, only because that's something you can sit around with people who have it and you guys can all play. So that one, Borderlands, would be a better fit than BioShock, I think.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I remember they was interested in putting the game on the Switch because remember they waiting on Nintendo. Wink, wink.
They did want to put BioShock that one on the Switch, but Nintendo didn't give them a developer kit early enough.
Yeah,
and it wasn't a
It'll probably be Borderlands. That's a good point.
Okay, so that's one company down. Exciting times, and that's a giant North American AAA company that's excited about the Switch. Where there's another one that not so much. We'll talk about them later, though. Then there's Bandai Namco, who somehow are surprised at the success of the Switch. The Japanese company that makes Smash Brothers for Nintendo was surprised that their handheld device is a success. So, Bandai Namco, it says, we have put 3 games on the Switch so far, and all of them are doing well. It's a shame, but we didn't think the Switch would be accepted this fast.
Oh my god, thank you.
And they actually have 4 games.
Dumb.
I kind of think they're dumb.
I think it's because it's not just because like it's the handheld portion. Like
that's why. That's a
I think it's more so just because when you burn yourself really, really badly, like people don't really give you a open don't come to you with like an actual chance, which is with like the Switch was just like more so, and it wasn't so just to me that it was a hand. It was just that Nintendo realized how badly they did last gen, and they fixed nearly everything. So people was like, okay, we get to see it, which is like how Xbox burned themselves really badly. You have to work a lot harder. So I think that Bandai is probably going to record Smash Bros. Because now the GameCube adapter works. So that's definitely happening. And then there's no reason that Code Vein doesn't come out to that as well. So that's getting a port too. I think Dark Souls 3 and Code Vein, those are my picks.
Yeah, apparently they have 3 more exclusive titles coming to the Switch in spring to summer 2018. Smash Brothers is probably one of them.
Oh, a Tails game.
I hope not.
Aren't they getting their own Tails game? Is that something?
Yeah, they have a Tails game that's in Japan, but it's not here yet.
Okay.
Yeah. So
No,
I think like.
I see where Chris is coming from. Like it's a debate on both sides, and why third parties are kind of skeptical putting games in the system. But it makes business sense. Like if you go back to Nintendo's history on how they've been doing with their handheld, it's like it shouldn't even take that long to come up with a decision. Like they always been on key with their handhelds. Like their lowest selling handheld. Is
the 3DS, and that's still like 60 million.
Well, it's still ongoing, but we don't know what's the final sales going to be on that. But besides that, is the Game Boy Advance. I think the Game Boy Advance sold like around 80-something million.
Game Boy Advance sold 80, yeah.
Yeah, about 80 million. So
that's probably where the Switch or the 3DS will end up.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it shouldn't even be no discussion. Like it's a tool with one device, but the handheld part about the device should be the main reason why they should put these games on the Switch, because they know that there is a huge market for Nintendo handheld. That's where I'm coming from.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like they're a Japanese company. Nintendo handhelds always do well in Japan. So like you'd think it'd be like an automatic W for them.
I don't think it's that easy. I don't think it's that easy because, like Real was saying, it's like the Wii definitely burned them, like, and specifically Bandai Namco and Take-Two, because they brought good games to the Wii U and they sold like 10,000 copies. Like Tekken Tag sold like 10,000 copies.
Oh no,
Tekken Tag sold very poorly.
And it was a really good game, and I have it. And it's a really good port and has all this Nintendo stuff in it, and it's just like nobody cared. It was just, so. You got to convince shareholders after that. It's like, hey, we lost all this money on Tekken Tag on Wii U, and same thing with Take-Two. You know, they have to wait and see because they got really burned. Again, I think 2K, what was it, 2K13 at that time, 2K14, whatever
it was 2K13.
Basketball. It was 2K13. It came out on Wii U, and it sold like maybe 50,000 copies. So. That's bad. Yeah, it was bad. So, you got a good point, Alex, about the handheld thing. But again, it is a hybrid. So they were probably just thinking from, well, this is Nintendo's home console. So they were thinking from that point of view, probably. And I
think everything just has to be cost effective too. Like when you're picking, you have to know what game, because every game that you port doesn't have a fan base because Nintendo hasn't really got a chance to grow with franchises. So every game is not gonna come. But what you have to do is pick the better options, and then you also have to realize too. I see a lot of people really get mad at these companies, and it's why don't you put this game over here? And some of them should be there, but you're telling people you want EA to bring one I keep saying is Battlefront 2. First of all, EA doesn't like Nintendo. That's first of all, stop asking these guys to support a platform they have no interest in. They don't care.
This ain't new. I was talking to Real about this. This goes back to Nintendo 64.
Yeah, they don't play nice with Nintendo.
They just don't care. It's just you have to ask the right people for the big Japanese guys should be there. I'm glad 2K's jumping on board there. For anybody that is Borderlands, if you never played Borderlands, you should play it. Show them that you want the game because the game's awesome. But those kind of games should be there. Sports games should be there. I don't understand why like Call of Duty lapped the Switch this time around. Because like, don't get me wrong, like World War II looks good, but it's not good enough. We're like, man, this is gonna be so much money that we have to down. No. Like,
right.
There's no reason.
They're still using the same engine.
Yeah, there's no reason Call of Duty is not on Switch. Activision should that should be there. I think that World War II
that should have been their testing the waters game.
Yeah, World War II and Overwatch should both like be coming down there. Yeah, I think that would be something that definitely like a lot of Switch guys can get behind, especially because most Switch guys carry their game with them. So Overwatch is awesome.
And then I'm
fine that it's not there this year. I feel like another problem with the Wii U is that there was so much stuff all at one time.
Yeah, they had
a lot of games couldn't get the shine.
Yeah, they didn't build a fan base first before they get those games.
And you didn't. Yeah, you can't. Oh, this is here's NBA 2K. 13. You didn't have 12, 10, 9, 8. You didn't have none of those. You had to build up a fan base for that stuff. And I think Nintendo's doing it smart. With they were really strategic as far as who they let out there in the launch window. And I think they're being strategic about the first holiday as well.
I think November, that 1 week is too crowded though. It's like 5 AAA games.
Yeah, that seems a little tight.
That's too much.
But think if they had Call of Duty and all these other games on there as well, how that would have been.
It was smart
that Skyrim shouldn't come out at the same time.
Nintendo played it safe by putting Mario at the end of October, and usually
they're giving them room to breathe. That's
they gave up. They gave up their.
Normally Mario comes out in November.
It's one thing we didn't mention is the advertisement. Like the Wii U was a failure. Even companies like Ubisoft and Activision said that Nintendo needs to market their.
Yeah, products. I saw a commercial of his Switch, and it was only showing Skyrim.
Yo, like even on Nintendo's YouTube channel, like they didn't advertise third parties with the Wii U. Like they're doing everything that they possibly can to diversify their fan base. That's what they're doing right now. That's why all these third party games on the Switch right now doing so well, because people are aware that those games exist. Not only
they're showcasing them on
a lot of people didn't know that certain games were on the Wii U.
Because when you saw a commercial on TV, it said Xbox, PC, and PS4 only. They never showed the Wii U logo.
What dude, this is they making a commercials that's only for even though it's multi-plat, but Nintendo is making their own commercial.
Exactly.
They don't have Xbox or PlayStation at the end. They want to make everybody wear their own Switch. So that's what they're doing.
Yeah, they had a Doom developer mini documentary on their YouTube channel.
Yeah. Like, crazy.
That is different. That is
that's very new. It's very cool too. It's cool to see stuff like that.
I'm glad I got rid Scott Muffin. I'm glad he's gone. He was garbage.
Yeah, like the Doug Bowser, the new guy. That guy is a beast, man. And funny enough, he used to work at EA.
That's true. He did.
Well, EA's used to destroying talent. So.
Yeah, that's very true. Until that's a visceral. But let's move on to the next company. We have Ubisoft. Ubisoft, one of the major third-party devs that was actually on board with the Switch since Jump. They've been hyping up the console more than anybody other than Nintendo themselves. And they're paying off for it. Like, they are getting crazy sales from the Switch. We saw their Q2 earnings here. You can see the little chart here. So PlayStation 4 has the most percentage. They have the highest install base. It's to be expected. They sold 31% of software for Ubisoft. Xbox One, 20%. PC, 15%. Nintendo Switch, 19%. Only 1% behind the Xbox One. And that's with more than 20 million less consoles on the market than the Xbox.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
That is absolutely insane.
The power of advertisement.
And good
that's thinking that your box is the problem. Is what
on the Wii U is 1% of their business.
Yeah, like if you look back at Q2 from last year, the Wii U, Wii, PS3, 360 combined was only 6%. The Wii U itself was like I think less than 1%. So, like, that's a huge difference we're talking about here, going from Wii U to Switch, and that's why Ubisoft they're all in. The games that they've brought out so far, Mario Rabbids, Just Dance, and Rayman. Now they're saying they want to bring bigger games to the Switch now.
I got a question because I don't know if you guys remember, maybe a couple years into Wii U, they were talking about well, we got this game that we're waiting for something to happen, or that we're waiting for like install base to go up or something, and then we'll decide. Was that Rabbids?
No, it was some game that used the Wii gamepad's camera.
Okay.
You remember like Tank? It was something like that, but their own version. It wasn't the Rabbids game. The Rabbids game was supposed to come to the Wii U though, but that was late in the cycle. But it obviously got moved over to Switch though.
All right, cool.
Yeah, but Ubisoft, they're paying off, man. It's good to see because like they make good games. They just got to start bringing them over to Switch gang to, kind of carry the slack of the Xbox fan base there.
Nice.
What do you guys want to see from Ubisoft?
Splinter Cell.
Yep.
That's my all-time favorite franchise from them. I love Splinter Cell.
Splinter Cell.
I love Splinter Cell too. Me too.
I don't know. I'm not a stealth person, so.
I love stealth games.
Not saying that it shouldn't come, but
I think Beyond Good and Evil should be on everything, so that should be on every platform.
Yeah, so far it's just announced for Xbox and PlayStation, right?
Yeah.
They didn't announce it for
I
anything.
don't know if it was
doesn't
announced
have
for
any
anything.
platform.
No,
it doesn't
they
have
just
any
said
platform.
Okay. They haven't picked platforms yet.
I don't think it's a disc game.
Then I would imagine it's coming to Switch then.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be on Switch. I don't think this gen's lasting much more than 2 more years, but that's that. But I mean,
that's crazy.
Yeah, that's done. Sony's not gonna take the whole X thing forever. Like once they get tired, they'll get tired. So, like that is what it is. But
I don't know. They just hitting their stride. Why would they want to mess with that?
Well, I'm saying more so in the fact just because one, Shu and them have already, and Phil too, they're trying to get active users into go ahead, and it's not about like getting people through like games. It's about making sure you're drawing in more people to your services. And Shu and Phil seem to think that upgrading consoles brings in play because it gives more excitement to people. So they feel like that's the burst that they use every couple of years to get everybody to buy everything. So since the Pro's out and the X is out, I think in another 2 years or 3 years, when Sony's just like, okay, time to lift the veil, it is what it is. Well, Nintendo will still be here, but they'll be hitting their stride. I mean,
I've heard that theory. I don't know if it's going to work because I feel like the people who are going to buy the new hardware are the people who are your active users. They're the hardcore people.
Yeah.
So I don't think you're going to excite new
people. A casual person isn't walking off the street and be like, I'm going to go buy an Xbox One X, right?
That's different though for the X though. See, because the X is just the X and the Pro are just incremental upgrades.
Yeah,
and especially
you're talking about like a PS5.
Yeah, when a PS5. I don't know what Microsoft is going to name their console. Whatever they're going to do,
Xbox
2 or whatever. But like when you say PS5 or when Nintendo brings a new console, you know it's a new console because they always change up the number or what it actually is. So Sony gets that boost from that. Microsoft is their own thing. I personally don't. I want to see Nintendo get from Ubisoft. If it was me, I think they need to work out something to get like, unless they can get kind of like an action like adventure game of they're making their own. If I'm them, I'm putting some money into going after Prince of Persia for them to have it.
You're gonna say that,
specifically, or
make it exclusive.
Or I'd like to see them take another Nintendo character and make their game for it. So. Yeah,
I'm kind of more in the Chris way. I want them to do more Mario Rabbids kind of stuff.
Yeah,
because that was a huge success for them. It's a new game. It's exclusive. Like I love Assassin's Creed and all that stuff, but I can get that on any other platform.
Yeah, exactly.
Take a dormant Nintendo IP and make something with it.
Exactly. And or bring back stuff that they're not sure about, and like Nintendo can help fund that. Like Prince of Persia is a perfect example.
Yeah. Somebody says Zelda Creed. What the fuck?
Zelda Creed. But like if there was a multiplayer to come over, I think that South Park game would work really well.
That would actually be really, really dope. It's not Zelda, but if they were gonna actually go ahead and like announce like give Sheik her own game and let Ubisoft make it.
Oh my gosh, I would love that.
If she got her own game from Ubisoft and it was like Assassin's Creed style, like
that'd be very cool.
That works really well.
Because they had an Assassin's Creed game on the Vita that was starring a girl, right? So it could be like that game.
Yeah, like she would fit perfectly in that. That'd be awesome. Especially after Breath of the Wild, she doesn't, you can kind of pump Zelda up, pump Sheik up again, give her own little thing. So
and they can even cross promote the game, be like you can get Sheik's costume in Breath of the Wild since something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm out of here after this.
Or we could get that Captain Falcon third-person fighting game, Falcon Punch.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
I think they need to switch up Captain Falcon. Just make a spin-off game.
Captain
like
Falcon needs a game like Turtles in Time. He needs
like
that
a
kind
beat
of
'em
game.
up. Yeah, beat 'em up Captain
Falcon Punch, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Here's a good one. Here's a good one.
F-Zero, though.
Here's a good one. The van said Child of Light 2. That's it.
Child of Light 2 would be great.
I love
Child of Light 2.
I very much love Child of Light. That was a very good game.
That's a good one.
But yeah, Ubisoft has a lot of cool stuff. It doesn't have to be the same stuff that we're getting on Xbox and PlayStation, but like I personally would like more like collaboration games. I think that's really cool.
Or you can let them make another Super Mario RPG like Legend of Seven Stars, especially after South Park. Let them do it.
Yeah, because those South Park games are so damn fun.
Yeah, definitely. Let them do
I
that.
still hadn't. I didn't play that.
Play Stick of Truth. It's really cheap.
Yeah.
It's a good game. Very good game.
How much is it anyway?
You can get it for like $5-10 now.
On PC? Really?
Yeah. I only paid like $8 for mine.
Well, I saw it on Steam for $30. So you must got.
That's regular price. You buy it from like CD Keys and shit.
Oh.
But yeah, let's
Keys, man, that's the spot.
CD Keys is the best, man.
You can't get refunds though. I don't like that.
Yeah, that's the only thing. That's why you gotta research.
The game is so dirt cheap, you don't care about no refund.
Yeah, that's true.
That's also true. When it's like a $5 game, does it really matter? But let's talk about Real's favorite company other than Sega. That would be Capcom.
I was behaving. You like
Capcom. I'm just trying to let the people know that you like Capcom. What's the
if I
problem?
go on a huge tangent, I ain't gonna piss nobody.
Oh my god, I didn't do nothing. I'm just...
Okay, go ahead.
All I said was...
Man, I didn't do nothing.
I didn't do
I
nothing.
like Capcom 2007, but not Capcom 2017.
So, a game that Gamer Nick bought 300,000 copies of, Street Fighter 2, 500,000
We all
copies.
should thank Gamer Nick.
Apparently, Gamer Nick is the sole savior of the Switch in Capcom. He's a 99% share owner of Capcom at this point. They've sold 350,000 copies of Monster Hunter XX has shipped in Japan alone, because as we know, it's not in North America for some reason. And they are pretty much making it rain with Switch games without actually doing much work. And they have no interest in giving us new games, which is strange. But Capcom, let's see what they said here. Capcom provided latest financial results today and revealed new data on both Ultra Street Fighter and Monster Hunter. Street Fighter is considered a smash hit, and Monster Hunter is considered to be performing strongly, they said. During the 6 months ended September 30th, 2017, our industry saw broad signs of recovery, including greater penetration of PlayStation 4 and console being a strong performance, a new Nintendo Switch game console as well. This has revitalized the home video game market. What, no Xbox in here? But yeah, like, so they're making a lot of money now, and they're putting games on a dead platform, and they're giving dead games to a new platform. Capcom, you're out of your minds! What are you guys' thoughts on Capcom? How are they handling the Switch situation here? Why don't we start with Ms. T? I know you love Capcom.
Yeah, you see all the great Capcom videos I have.
I do love them.
I mean, this is who Capcom is now. I guess we have to accept it.
Yeah.
They're kind of super. Yeah. They're kind of super lazy. They, like you said, they want to make a lot of money off little effort, so they do a lot of ports and things like that. And a lot of what they do doesn't make sense. Like not putting Disney Collection or Mega Man Collection on Switch earlier, something like that would make more sense. That would fit more with the Nintendo crowd. They didn't do that, so I mean, I don't know what to say about Capcom. Capcom is a shell of their former selves.
Yeah,
I mean, they just are.
I mean,
They are.
you ain't lying. I mean,
it hurts me to say that because they were one of my favorite companies.
The body's there, but the soul is gone.
Yeah. Soul is certainly gone.
for the Switch. They're gonna advertise that horrible looking Mega Man that they drew up for the show, and it's probably be a game that is gonna be trash.
It's gonna be disappointing, whatever the news is.
Yeah. I'll be right back.
Yeah, so I guess I'll pass it on to the next person. That's all I really have to say about Capcom.
I think it's messed up, but as messed up as it is, Capcom does everybody bad. I don't think.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's not just a Nintendo thing.
It's not just Nintendo. Like they do everybody bad. Because I know a lot of people were really heated that Street Fighter V was like exclusive to PlayStation, but it's like look how they did. Look how they did PlayStation though. Like they put the money up for it, and Sony got screwed out of that, so they didn't get the fighter that they wanted.
Yeah, Sony got screwed.
I keep forgetting they actually gave them the money to make that game.
Right, like that.
And a lot of people were cheesed about freaking Marvel vs. Capcom too.
Yeah, like they screw everybody over. It's not just Nintendo. They're just really bad at who they handled, and they want to be better. I feel like Capcom wants to make the best decisions, like putting Monster Hunter World on PS4. Smart. I would do that too because it's worldwide. It is the biggest platform, so of course it should be there. But you picked Xbox instead of the Switch, so the smart thing to do would have been you give it back to the to the players who helped you build that, and then you give it to the players who have kept it running for all of these years. Because this is the one franchise you have not run into the ground.
That's what I'm saying. That's all they have.
It's like you want to make sure. And if it was me, I would have done a lot more with Sony and Nintendo, knowing that these were coming out. Because it ain't Sony. It's not like Sony don't do crossplay. They just don't want to do crossplay with Microsoft. That's what it is.
That's what it
is. If it was me, I would have sat both of them down, and that would have happened. PS4, Switch, for Monster Hunter World. And if Nintendo needed to put up money, to help fund that version, because apparently Capcom can't make games by themselves no more, and then like Nintendo hurt. You know what I'm saying? They got bread. So they could have done it, but you chose to give it to an audience that is not going to support it. And then they don't even get the beta. So they've never played a Monster Hunter game. And you want to make sure the PlayStation guys get the beta. That don't make sense, bro. You killing this game on a platform before you.
And it's already dead in Japan. Like the Japanese version of Monster Hunter World for Xbox, you can forget about it. Like that is not going anywhere.
And then you have and most game companies do, but Capcom especially, they have these unrealistic expectations for the way that things sell. Well, that's gonna do well in Japan, but you have to account for the people who are Western that are just like. Who are intimidated by Souls games and Monster Hunters games or any game with the challenge.
Yeah, those games are not very accessible.
So, do y'all think the rumors is true that they paid them off to keep it off of digital platforms?
Yes, I am a pony, and I 100% believe that this. I 100% believe. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I love PlayStation, but I know for a fact that Sony's pride was hurt so bad that they haven't been in this position in a decade. They want to flex on anybody possible. So yes, I 100% believe.
Sony is shady, man.
Nah, Sony's doing what you should do. When you get smashed by Microsoft, they're not even targeting Nintendo. Notice that they don't hit anybody. They don't want to hit Nintendo. They want to hit Microsoft because that's who knocked them off, which is fine. But Capcom, you don't get to play sides, bro. You should be in it for money. And if you can't develop your own games and other people got to put up your bread, the two platforms that put up the bread for you, you need to entertain them both. Maybe the green guy ain't the most important guy in the room. You should probably stop making Dead Rising exclusive for him. I'm just saying.
They need to give up on that franchise.
Just saying.
That was a waste of resources. How much? I mean, I think to me the most
telling thing about 500,000.
The most telling thing about Capcom to me is Monster Hunter. Obviously, is their main. Their last bastion of greatness. And it took over 4 years to develop this game for PS4 and Xbox One. That I feel like the old Capcom could have got that out in half the time. This new Capcom is struggling when it comes to development.
Because they don't know what they want to do, man. I think they want to be the good guys. They want to give you everything you want. But they want to like charge you crazy for fighting games. But then Monster Hunter doesn't have loot boxes, which is like everyone's really impressed by it. I'm like, no, it's not impressive. It's only impressive because loot boxes are like the sin in the game in gaming right now. So they want to be the guys that say that they're not doing it. But does that mean that the game is going to suffer? And what else are you going to tax me on? Because it's Capcom, so I know you're going to hit me in some other way. I ain't dumb.
Yeah. They ain't say it wasn't going to be like egregious DLC. They ain't say it wasn't going to be none of that. It could be that.
Just no loot boxes. But that being said, though, from Capcom, I would want to see one particular game from them on Switch. And I want, because I've been asking for this for years, I want the guy who made DMC to figure out a way to make a Meta Knight action game happen.
A Meta Knight action game.
He wants
This man said a Meta Knight action game of all games.
I thought he was going to say Devil May Cry.
Fire.
I thought you were going to say Mega Man.
No. Because there are certain franchises that are associated with platforms. Like Mega Man is associated with Nintendo. Like obviously. Like Devil May Cry is associated with PlayStation. Like it is what it is. But you know, they have Bayonetta 2 on Nintendo. It's pretty much associated there now. But Meta Knight is a character just from Smash Bros. Alone who should have a Bayonetta-esque kind of game, a DMC-esque kind of game. Like, make that happen, dog. Like, that would be dope because
I don't know if I can take that seriously.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be. I'm not saying it has to be like it's like dark or it doesn't have to be.
It can be
like
still
DMC.
like, you know.
Yeah, it can still be like Nintendo's kind of thing. But I'm saying it in the terms of who's really good at making action games. Like the guys just are really good at making those kind of games. Yeah. So I just think like you know, I don't want to see like regular Kirby kind of style running around and pressing A and smacking somebody. No, I want to see some combos, stringing them together, something crazy. That would be dope. I'll never get my wish dope. I would like to see that. I don't know about. Well, I thought they had a. Didn't they just post a rumor about that not too long ago? About something like a 3D. Yeah, I actually thought it was like a week or two ago, right? Like they were talking about like an Uprising sequel. That's dope. That should definitely be on Switch. That game was awesome.
That's a definite.
Okay. So what, we still talking about Capcom or what?
Yeah.
The greatness that is Capcom. Actually, you correct yourself, sir.
The greatness that was Capcom.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. They got a lot of great IP. They just don't utilize them, and the ones that they do.
So does Sega, and so does Rare.
Rare especially.
It sucks, man. But they got a lot of great games that will look.
Hey man, aren't you excited? Rare made all those avatars and Kinect games, and they're making Sea of Trash.
Oh, God.
Sea of Trash.
That was Microsoft's fault though.
But when they were told they can make whatever they want, they decided to make Sea of Trash.
Yeah. And when they had a chance to make Banjo 3E, they made
an abomination.
Yeah, it's like that's on them. That wasn't Microsoft. That was on them.
Did they make Perfect Dark Zero? Or was that a different team?
That was their. That was
I think
them.
it was a different team.
I thought it was them. I thought it was just rushed out because they were trying to like get some shooter out.
Oh, maybe it was them. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they were trying to rush some shooter out because Halo wasn't done. So I think that's what Perfect Dark was for.
Those games were sitting around because Perfect Dark Zero and like Cameo, that stuff should have been on the original Xbox, and they just kind of just meandered around until the launch of Xbox 360. And those games.
It really sucks to see these companies that used to be amazing just be so worthless now. And then they just go and die off. Like Flame.
With Street Fighter, their biggest franchise of all, they still find a way to fuck that up.
I mean, that is sad. Is that not sad that Street Fighter got out?
You know what's really sad?
By a Pokken tournament? Like that is
sad.
That's pretty sad.
But you want to know really sad?
Street Fighter 2 outsold Street Fighter 5 in the same time.
Same time frame, yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Street Fighter 5 just like a couple days ago passed 1.9 million in Brazil.
That is sad.
Man.
Odyssey sold 2 million in 3 days.
Yeah, that arcade edition to help Capcom. Like I know a lot of people pissed about that, but I'm like,
that's the game they should have been making.
Yeah, it's not. It's for people who
don't been doing this since 1992.
Yeah, I don't see why that's surprising.
It's not something.
Yeah, what are you mad at?
But there's the
DLC for free. To be fair, like a lot of people are like, oh, they promised like.
Yeah, at least this time they're not making you rebuy it.
Come on, they're not making you buy it. Like you don't have.
They took the original characters out the game and took arcade out. Like they took the most out of characters out that made Street Fighter. That's why it's so horrible.
I don't think they took it out. They just rushed the damn game out.
Done
they didn't have enough time to put it in.
Yeah, Street Fighter 5 was not made for everybody. It was made for the competitive scene. why it launched when it did. And then they realized that competitive players, like, you know, it's almost as if there's only a couple of them that are actually.
I know,
really good.
right? It's not.
Well, they have to realize that the majority of the gamers, casual, a lot of casuals still want to play single player modes.
Exactly.
Play the arcades, and that would mess them over.
Like, there's only a small fraction of the fan base that cares about playing competitively.
Yeah. It's not like it's people like me out here who are willing to break a DualShock 4.
But yeah, let's move on from Crapcom here for a second. Let's talk about something really special that came out on October 27th. A game that came and brought so much joy. And that's Super.
Farming Simulator.
Go ahead.
Farming Simulator for Nintendo Switch.
Exactly. How did you know?
Wolfenstein 2.
It's not Wolfenstein. It's not Assassin's Creed Origins, and weirdly, it is not Farming Simulator. It is Super Mario Odyssey. Potential Game of the Year candidate game. A game so amazing. I said potential. Real, calm the hell down.
Game of the Year.
Okay. Well, we can all be in agreement. It's not Sonic Forces, okay, bud?
Oh
man.
He said,
you want to talk nonsense? We can talk nonsense.
Close the shades.
They
I was just about to say that, bro.
They don't deserve to be a contender.
But yeah, Sonic. No, we're not talking about Sonic. Super Mario Odyssey. This was a lot of fun, guys. I was watching Juices Loose when you guys were trying to discuss that Mario Odyssey is the true successor to N64's Mario, and I actually agree with you. I think it is.
Everybody didn't agree with me, but I feel like I was right about that.
Yeah, they were saying that they felt Sunshine was the successor. I don't think so. It's too different. You don't get the same kind of exploration. You don't get the same kind of movement of Mario. It's just too different. It's its own thing. I feel like this is the game I've been waiting for since N64. It's a real Mario game. It's been a blast, guys. I've not been able to put this game down. I got 800 moons in this shit already. It is like this game is so much fun. I know we all got the game here. We've all beaten the game. That's why we're all here. I wouldn't have somebody in here who hasn't beaten the game yet. What are your guys' thoughts? Chris, you were very adamant about being on this show, so I'm gonna start with you, Chris.
Okay, so this is my thing. I have been very vocal over the last year or two about how I felt about Nintendo because I felt like I got burned with the Wii U.
We all
now, so not that I've hated Nintendo, but it was just because I expect, and I am a pony. Nintendo will always be number one to me in terms of first party. That's not negotiable. I don't care who you are, Nintendo's number one.
Right.
But I thought that when I played Super Mario Odyssey, when I first saw it, I was like, this looks really good. But there are just like actual moments when you play that game where you don't stop smiling. Like that is one of my favorite moments in my gaming history. Is that the end of New Donk City? That is amazing.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It makes you feel like a kid again.
I was smiling.
Yeah, real talk. I know this is gonna the YouTube police gonna come at me for this shit, but like I'll shed a tear. I almost cried doing that shit.
Yeah,
I am not ashamed to say that I was.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm not ashamed to say I was teary-eyed through that, the sequence.
I was too. I was getting a little choked up. I was like, I can't believe they did that, bro. They know how to pull at your heartstrings.
They do.
Just watching you do that was just like the fact that I had my girl sitting by me and she's just like, she doesn't play games much, but she knows with Nintendo. Like, so we'll play Nintendo, we'll play Switch. She was like, yo, that's fire. Like, she didn't shut up for like 20 minutes. I'm like, will you shut up so I can hear the song? I'm like, talking. I'm like, Nintendo was here before you, they'll be here after you. Calm down. But it was that good, and the fact that you got to do something that I really wanted to do too, when you get to mess around with as Bowser. That's dope.
Yeah.
I'm just like,
that was so cool.
Are we dropping spoilers or?
Yeah, this is a spoiler cast.
Yeah,
okay, cool.
You can talk about whatever.
You didn't play this game. You should.
Yeah, if you haven't played it by now, that's on you. It's been out long enough.
It's been out long enough. That game ain't that long. But I mean, dude, fire from start. There are very few games that I actually say are 10s. And Breath of the Wild was really good too. It was a 9.5 to me or a 9. You don't believe it. Super Mario Odyssey is one of the first games since Last of Us to me that I think is an actual legitimate 10. There's no other game this year that deserves a 10 that is not other than Super Mario Odyssey. Fact.
I agree with you. There's no real low points as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, everything's good. It's good from start to finish. From everything you want to do. You can't say, well, I'm done with the game. I want to go trade it in. No, you don't.
Right.
Go walk around.
Once you beat the game, that's when the actual campaign is for. I'm gonna say it's for the average casual player. The real Mario game opens up once you beat the campaign.
Yeah.
And them costumes is fire.
Oh my god, the costumes.
Have you guys gotten the Mario 64 costume?
I got it. I made it a goal. Like I made it a point
God.
to get that one.
I don't have that one yet, but I did see it on
crying.
YouTube. I saw that on YouTube and was like, "This is real? Oh my god!"
I've only used that costume 2 times. One time was in that specific Mario 64 level in Super Mario Odyssey at Peach's Castle. I was rocking it there, and then one time I put it on during a live stream so people could see it. But otherwise, that costume doesn't get put on unless we go to Peach's Castle.
Yep, it's only right. It's only right.
I had no idea. Like I had seen no spoilers of that.
Yeah.
So when I found that room, and it's not where you would think it would be.
Yeah,
it's kind of that room. Yeah. I was just like, no way. Is this for real? Is this real life?
Wait, which room?
And the room with the
room
the fountain.
Yeah, it's straight out of Mario 64.
Straight out of Mario 64.
Oh, yes.
They took the assets. Look, they just took the assets and beat them up a little bit.
It's a beautiful thing.
I love that.
I legit tear down the front of the face. Like, what? This is. And I had the suit amazing. At the time. I was like, this is cool that they have a Mario 64 suit. So I bought the outfit.
Yeah.
And then, so I just kind of put it on. I was running around or whatever. I had no idea that was a thing in this game. And when I saw that, I just lost it.
Yeah.
This is God tier right here. This is great.
It's really like the epitome of fan service. Like, this is a game, like, if you've played all the Mario games throughout your life, or even just a portion of them, there's an element of each game in this game, and the way they handle it is so special. And then they add their own flair with Cappy, and then the new level design. Like, it is a culmination of Mario's entire career in one game. I cannot convey how good this game is.
And there is Sunshine stuff too. Like Sunshine is like my least favorite 3D Mario game.
I think it's most people's least favorite for good reason.
Yeah.
I like Sunshine.
I get into arguments.
It doesn't hold up as well as the other ones.
No.
I like Sunshine.
And the Sunshine levels that they decided to, the stuff, the basically the no flood levels.
Yeah.
Awesome. That was a great idea. That was just it's perfect. They take Cappy away for a lot of them, and it feels
those levels get really hard too.
They get hard, yeah.
Yeah. Because I know that was Terminator's biggest problem with the game, and he doesn't feel it's hard enough. But like when you play those rooms, I would wager those rooms are as hard as any level in 3D World.
Easy. That's
It's just an amazing game. I don't know. Let's take it from a guy who doesn't like the game at all. Real. I know it's. I would like to get your thoughts on this game. I know it's not Sonic Forces, buddy, but at least try to be unbiased, okay?
People that's in the panel, people that's in the chat, like this is the main reason why I go off the house because
I simply asked you what your thoughts on this amazing game are.
Don't let Alex fool you the way he's talking. He's trying to make it seem like he's been off the light. No, y'all know how he is, especially on the real time.
My goodness, sir.
Oh my god.
I am just trying to let my fellow panel mate give his impressions of the game.
Your wannabe monocle wearing ass with a top hat.
Serious about this guy.
Mr. Peanut. Let me get off. Okay. For your information, Alex, this game is awesome. I said this a lot. I don't know how many times. This is a game of the year candidate. But I already told you, Zelda is my game of the year. Like, ain't nothing is gonna stop it. But no, there is no flaws with the game. The only thing that I won't, I wish it would have been better is probably the boss battle to be more than just 3 hits and that's it. Like, but as far as the boss battle, they're all awesome. It's fun. It's very exciting. And yes, the game puts a smile on my face throughout the game because it's just wonderful. And yes, like I will see that. I think this game is more of a 64 successor because of the open world elements.
Yeah.
But as far as the platforming, like it's just so perfect, man. New Dunk City, like oh my god, like I never experienced a game in my life that, like in my grown adulthood life, that a game like that, not a realistic game, a cartoony Pixar game, almost made me teary-eyed. Like
Yeah,
the music, the theme song, you transition from 3D to 8-bit, like it just.
Oh man, those sections,
those transitions are so flawless.
Like
the music transitions, the
costumes transition, it's beautiful.
If Mario Odyssey wins Game of the Year, I would still love it. Like it's kind of hard to fight against Mario Odyssey and Zelda Breath of the Wild because they're all wonderful, awesome games. These will be the games that we all going to talk about 20 years from now. That our children are going to talk about, our grandchildren, our great-grands. Like they all going to talk about it because that's how wonderful these games are. That's how much Nintendo put their.
I hope my grandkids get stuck with Xbox, bro.
Why would you wish that on you?
Hey, look, you know what? If I can't, my motor skills is gone. I hope because I'll be damned if I get stuck watching them have fun.
You know why I think Mario's gonna win? Because I think when you look at Mario and you look at Zelda, people have way more complaints about Breath of the Wild than they have about.
Yeah, that's because Breath of the Wild.
Oh, it doesn't have dungeons, or the frame rate Korok Forest, and the
I feel like Zelda does have legitimate problems.
Yeah, it does.
If you go by the content, Zelda like kills Mario when it comes.
But if you're going by content, then a JRPG should win every year.
Right. That
doesn't matter.
Well, yeah, but that's still kind of a niche genre.
It doesn't matter. You said it goes by content.
Zelda's more well known and it sells a lot more.
No, Mario.
What?
Mario sells way more.
No. I'm talking about. I'm not comparing Mario.
Oh, you mean compared to a JRPG?
That's basically what I'm saying. You know, but I guess in closing, like this game, like if it wins Game of the Year, I will still be happy because Breath of the Wild and Mario deserve Game of the Year. One of the other.
One of them will win.
Yeah. One of them will win. So, like
it doesn't matter because either way it goes, a Nintendo game will be at least the nomination.
Yeah, like there's other games that deserve to be in the top 5, like Persona and Wolfenstein. That should be in the top. That's an awesome game. I love Wolfenstein. But like at the end of the day, Nintendo's gonna win because like, come on, these are the. This is basically this generation of Last of Us. Like people say Last of Us is the best game ever.
It's a must-play game.
Yeah, must-play game. Like. And plus, you start the game on freaking dinosaur. Like, how do you just control a dinosaur?
I was expecting that dinosaur to come way later, but you get it in like second world. I couldn't stop smiling.
That's what I'm saying. Like, the game starts instant fun. Like, that's how the game starts. Instant fun. So, if it's getting here, I'm good.
It's not even just that. Like, again, I think. I would have honestly given who had the best. I'm always up in the area because I don't know who I would give because I like them both a lot. I like the fact that Sony pretty much destroyed an American company with just really Japanese games.
Yeah, true.
But I like the fact that Nintendo, that a lot of people are not acknowledging that Nintendo finally let the new blood in and they're letting the new blood work. This is what happens when you.
This is a new blood Mario game.
Yeah, this is exactly. And same for Zelda. Like everything is just like.
Splatoon 2 is new blood too, and ARMS is new blood.
All of these old habits Nintendo has, where everything is just like point A to point B. Like they're opening up and they're learning and they're looking at the industry and what the correct things that they should do.
They're taking like the best points.
More so that Super Mario Odyssey is not saying that Zelda isn't. Super Mario Odyssey is the stamp that the Switch needed to be like, this is a must-have. Like, I don't feel like, I feel like PlayStation got it with Uncharted 4 and Horizon, like, because those are the two games that were like, okay, now you need to have it.
You have to have it,
There are very few platforms that come out in the first year that's just like, stamp, you need to have it.
Yeah, Switch got 2.
Yeah. And like, the fact that Mario is as well, it was more so that it showed the evolution of Nintendo alongside their mascot. That's why it means more that Mario gets it, because it evolved alongside the platform. Not saying Zelda didn't, but Zelda, being 100%, because Zelda was a great game, Zelda was still heavily influenced by Skyrim, which is why I don't give it. I don't give it that 10 that everybody else gives it, because it's not 100% original. It's just Nintendo's twist on what a lot of RPGs have already done. Mario was them 100% like, this is what we always wanted Mario to be, and this is what we didn't know we wanted from Mario. So this is like amazing. That's why I think that it deserves.
And unlike Zelda, it's the accumulation. Like if you look at it as a series, Mario Odyssey is the accumulation of every Mario game.
Yeah. So basically what you're saying.
Whereas Zelda flips the Zelda formula on its head. There's Mario takes everything, puts it together.
Story elements. There's some throwbacks to Kohi Link Island and all this kind of stuff from all the other games, but that isn't like incorporated into gameplay. So the Mario game incorporates all the gameplay from all the Mario games into this one game.
Mario is more original. That's basically what y'all saying. Like,
so basically, Zelda forgoes conventions, and then Mario just like it's just an accumulation of everything that's awesome about Mario.
Exactly. Yeah.
I just thought it was like really like, I don't know if this is true. This is in my head when I was playing it. I feel like they sat down with Kojima, because I think Kojima gets high before he made games. They got high before they made games. No way in hell. No way.
Like some of these dudes that work at Nintendo, they must be high 24/7.
Yeah, and Nintendo is not new to this kind of weird, quirky, kind of crazy idea stuff. They've been doing that for.
Odyssey has some weird stuff. Like the Luncheon Kingdom, where the people are literally forks.
How does that work? Where the
you can fling off them? Oh my god, it's so funny. That game is so creative.
It's more usually brilliant, man. And then you have all the different characters, and they all feel different, but it all makes sense the way they feel and control.
And that was one of the things I was concerned about too. Was like, hopefully this capping mechanic isn't too like.
Actually, let's talk about that. I want to get that into the anyways. What are you guys' thoughts on Cappy, which is the quote unquote gimmick of Mario Odyssey? Let's start with you, since you're already going.
I like Cappy.
Some people say he's overpowered, but I think it was awesome.
Like, Cappy has to be a mainstay for the franchise.
It's like some people kind of got salty that they want was it Tookie, and they want the fireball. They want Tanuki, They basically want what Mario did in the past, but.
Well, I'll phrase it this way. Do you feel that by having Cappy, you missed out on the fire powers, the flying power?
But no, you get it. You get everything.
You got it. You got it in creatures.
You just don't have it.
I think Cappy is one of the coolest things they could have added to Mario. Because, like, not only does he increase Mario's base movements, like, you can jump higher, you can jump further, you can, like, do different wall jumps now and reach places you could never reach with Mario himself. But now you can just be like, oh, I want to capture this stone dude. Oh, hey, look, I can put his shades on. I can see things I couldn't see before.
Yeah.
Like, just little cool things like that. Or, hey, I'll take control of this centipede dude and I'll wrap myself around this pole to reach that moon. Like, that shit is wild.
Like, on paper, it makes no sense.
Yeah.
But Nintendo does this all the time where it just works. It's just like, how do they come up with that stuff?
And like every single thing that you capture, he moves differently, controls differently, has different weight to them, and they handled it so perfectly. Because I never felt that any of the captured people were hard to control. It felt like even though it's the first time capturing them, I could grasp the controls of it like almost immediately. And that's
like what they do just made sense. Like it just clicked, you know.
I loved it. The only sore part for me was some of the music is not the greatest. Like it's kind of forgettable.
Not a lot of memorable music.
Yeah, but the ones that are memorable are very memorable. But like, what do you think of Cappy though, Chris?
For me, as soon as I finished the game, it was more so like, okay, he has to be a mainstay, because I like when eventually they bring him in like to Smash or they bring out Smash, I have to have like you gotta have some Cappy. You gotta redesign, like you have to do something to redesign it. But more so, it's kind of like, how do you follow this game? Because now, just like Breath of the Wild, anything under this now is kind of like gonna be seen as unacceptable.
Yeah.
Right. So now that's like you, especially with 2 of them games coming out in the first year. So it's like now pretty much anything lower than this, we gonna be like, nah, fam, we just saw that.
The heat
So
is
now,
on.
yeah. So now it's like
How's Nintendo gonna top that?
Yeah, how do you top that? And you gotta make people like if you take away Cappy next game because Cappy was an actual character that people liked, you didn't feel tacked on. You felt like
he was part of your journey the whole time. He had his own mission too.
So now it's like if he doesn't come up in the next game, I ain't gonna lie, I'm pissed. I'm like, well, I kind of care a little less because where my dude at? Like, you know, I ain't gonna get to read nothing. My hat ain't talking. Like, I legit wore my little Cappy hat dog the entire time until I beat that game. I was taking it serious, dog. I have a little mustache on from Halloween. I was in full Mario. So,
kudos to you.
I mean, my girl was clowning me, but you know how I am.
Wow. This guy.
Cappy is that dude, though, man. Cappy is that dude.
She thought the hell was fly. I was like, see, Cappy, girls love Nintendo, man. See, Cappy was getting me.
You know what's so funny? Like New Donk City, like that was legit the first thing we saw.
Yeah,
we saw Mario Odyssey, which was New Donk City, and it was the one I was the least like impressed with when we first saw it. I was like, okay, that's cool. And I was just like, oh, I'm gonna go there. It's gonna be cool or whatever. But that's when the game really opened up for me.
Yeah,
I was totally caught off guard with that. I did not expect that at all.
That level like easily has the most secrets and cool little stuff to find. Like, I'm assuming you guys have all found this, but you walk into one building and you go on a scooter, then all of a sudden a fucking T-Rex is chasing you.
Oh, that's some great stuff.
Yeah.
When I saw that shit, I was like, what the fuck?
What is the T-Rex doing in freaking New Donk? Get out of here.
I think, too, for that, though, no matter how many... And I listened to Jump Up Star like a million times. Like,
I can't get that song out of my head.
Yeah.
I can't get
so
it.
good.
Go ahead and play the end of that level. It's still like that song is still amazing. No matter how many times you hear it, it is still amazing every single time. And it's just something you sing along to. Like, I know the words, my brother know the words, my girl know the words. Like, we riding to work. She like, put on Jump Up Superstar. Let's go. Let's go.
And there's another song at the end of the game.
Oh my god, it's so good.
Completely caught me off guard. I was like, what is this?
It felt like we were watching an anime out of nowhere.
Yeah,
I wasn't really feeling it, to be honest. Like,
really? I
felt like it was a little too anime. I wasn't really.
I was blown away by it.
I feel like that was the end of like how Sonic would usually end like
a final
mission or something.
It reminded me of something like that.
Yeah, but I thought that was dope though. Because they don't generally do it in a Mario.
Yeah.
But that was a good twist. But
it wasn't as guitar riffy as the Sonic.
I like the part where the Bowser theme kind of starts coming in. Like that was pretty cool.
I thought of this world amazing.
I thought the music for that was dope. I mean, leave it to Nintendo to show Sega how to do what they're supposed to be doing.
Right?
Was I the only one that was like, after all this I just did, Peach, you gonna try to play me, yo?
Yeah.
She really did, though. She really did.
No, real talk. You know that first time you fight Bowser on Cloud Kingdom? Peach wasn't looking all that concerned when you were getting your ass kicked. She looked like she was perfectly fine going away with Bowser again.
I mean, maybe she just knew she like, you gonna pull through like you always do.
I know, right? She like, I already know.
Gonna pull through like you
He's like, well, you know, Mario, I'm already wearing the dress. He bought the ring. We got the ship. Maybe you should just, step up.
Maybe it's not worth it, you know?
At the end of that curve, like she curved them at the end of that game.
Oh my god!
Like
she friend-zoned them so hard that Mario had to console Bowser.
I know.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That was hilarious.
I would have tripped her, and I would have took Bowser on the Odyssey. You would have left. I'm like, figure out how to get home, but you done. I ain't saying you no more.
Anything if anything showed us from that last sequence in that game, like we need a standalone Bowser game. Like that shit was that was so fun. Just running around beating stuff up as Bowser.
Pretty fun. And like shooting out fire and all that stuff. That was actually pretty lit.
Good.
That was fire. I might have to go play that game. I'm not ready.
Yeah, you can actually replay that level. There's a painting in the kingdom. You can jump into it.
Yeah, there's a lot of those in the castle. I think that's actually pretty cool. And they actually let you jump into the paintings, which is the best part.
Yeah, it's Mario 64 styles. Real, what's your thoughts on Cappy?
Like I said, I feel that he's overpowered, but at the same time, it's freaking fun as hell, man. Like I just love it. Like it's kind of like if you want to compare it to the other, with people, huh?
No,
Yeah,
it's
go.
not
Playing that
really.
game.
Playing
Oh,
something.
okay. It's kind of like with Zelda, like we don't want to go back to that old formula. I feel the same way with Cappy. I don't want to go back to the old formula. Like keep Cappy there. People love Cappy.
Yeah, Cappy's pretty good.
Yeah,
Like,
Cappy's
like,
cool.
when you start the game on a freaking T-Rex, like that's instant fun, and throughout the game, it's just so fun. Like you can become a Goomba, you get to become Yoshi. Oh yeah, that's at the end of the game. We ain't
Yeah,
talk about
when
Yoshi.
we'll talk about the after game content soon. Yeah.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that. But yeah, like it's just basically everything that you want to become, and like I said a while ago, that I kind of understand if they give it to Mario Odyssey because they are more original with their with their game, with their style than Zelda because they took keys from Skyrim. Let's just be real, be honest about that. But yeah, they took keys a lot, especially from Mario 64, and
Yeah.
and because Mario game, like it's like they'll take no keys from other platforms because there's really no competition out there.
They don't need to.
It's just Nintendo's just improved on their previous games, and like I said, if it wins Game of the Year, like I would be happy, and Cappy should stay there going forward. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is that if we throw Cappy on,
Huh? What?
if we throw Cappy on Sonic, it'll be good again.
I knew it. Say so, I ain't going there with you.
Tell Cappy.
I ain't going there with you. I ain't going there with you.
Oh,
Chris.
okay. All right. You're right. I mean, I guess Sonic ain't going back to being good either, so we all can
Okay,
go.
okay. I'm not going there. You see people in the chat? Y'all see who started this mess? I didn't do nothing.
But let's talk about how the game kind of changes once you finish the campaign and how it kind of opens up the after game content. I feel is for the real Mario fans, like the ones who've been playing Mario for years. That's when the game really opens up for you. Because like you got some guys out here on YouTube who beat the game in a day, made a little video telling people to have seats, and then just stop playing games and make videos all day. But then you got other people like the rest of us here who started playing the after game content, and you realize that this game ain't over. And there's a lot of stuff you can do. I think you can beat the game with just 120 moons or something like that. That's bare minimum. That's for the casual gamer. But once you beat that campaign, you go to Peach's Castle. You gotta collect 500 moons to have access to all the levels, which is the dark side of the moon and then the darker side of the moon. That darker side of the moon level is no joke. That is Champions Road level difficulty there. That was a beast. But there's so many more moons once you beat the game. You know those blocks that are just randomly in the level, those metal blocks, and they don't do anything. Once you beat the game, then those turn into more moons, so you can get more moons. But there's also more challenge rooms that open up, much harder levels, and you can actually replay the bosses again. But they're more difficult versions of the bosses. So like that game really opens up for someone who enjoys Mario once you beat the campaign. How do you guys feel how they handled this? Do you think it should have been there from jump, or is it a good idea to have it after you beat the campaign?
Oh man, I think that should have been an option because I felt that the 3-hit boss fight, they should give us an option because I felt that I wasn't challenged at first. But yeah, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, it's fine.
No, I hadn't played as much. I sure as hell hadn't played as much as you, Alex. I got like 200 moons.
Casual.
Casual.
But see, whatever. But yeah, I played all the bosses at the Mushroom Kingdom and explored around with Yoshi and all that. You know, I had a fun time, and I replayed some of these bosses. And yeah, you was right. Like they was freaking hard, man.
Yeah, they're much more difficult.
Yeah, like I kind of wish that we got that at first. That's my only thing.
You gotta keep in mind though, like I think the reason they don't do that is to make it accessible to everybody.
Yeah, they don't want to turn off potential
what
players.
about options?
Because like the option is to play it after you beat the game.
Yeah, there's your option. It's an option.
Like, cause you got like games like 3D World, they didn't really do that. The harder levels started around World 6, and you had to get through them to beat the game. This game, even like an average casual Mario player can beat Mario Odyssey and have a hell of a time. Like a lot of fun. And then like the more hardcore Mario fan will find their fun through the campaign because that was just a great story. and then you get your hardcore levels later on, which you've earned because you've got all those moons.
I think here's another big thing that people are discounting about, like you said, Terminator Juice. Some people had issues with easy moons.
Yeah.
You have to remember that this is also a handheld game.
Yeah.
So you want to be able to do quick little, shots at,
Jump
moons and whatnot. Right. 5
Yeah.
minutes, 10 minutes, and be able to do that stuff too. That's why I think this game is so perfect, because it caters to everybody and it just all works. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's true.
This, I think it was Retro Death. I think he said that this game is as easy or as hard as you want it to be. I think he said that. That's absolutely true. You can rush through this game, get as little as possible, just beat the campaign, call it a day. Or you can make it difficult for yourself. You can go fight the harder bosses. You can go find those levels where you don't have Cappy's health anymore. And you can go play the hardest level in the game. And there's a lot of challenge there. You have to go find it, though. That's the difference. And an experienced Mario fan, I think, would want to.
Yes.
The casual Mario fan, not so much, but that's totally fine. You had that amazing campaign, and you had your fun. But there's a lot of fun to be had if you're willing to look for it. And some of those moons are really challenging.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The last Mario game that I cared about just beating it and that was good enough was probably Super Mario Brothers. That was it. Everything else I wanted to explore and find everything.
Yeah.
From then on, and that's where the most rewarding stuff comes in.
The exploring in this game is very rewarding.
Yes.
Even if you go somewhere just off to a corner, it doesn't actually look like there's anything there, but then your controller stops rumbling and you do your little stomp and a moon pops out. It's I would never have found that because it's not visible or anything. It's just off in a corner somewhere.
It's like the Stone of Agony from Ocarina of Time.
So how many hours have you put into the game?
I have no idea. Does it show? I think it's been 10 days now, right? It should show.
Let me check.
I'm trying on my Switch.
It doesn't show on mine yet because I didn't get my copy until a couple of days later.
Hold on, I'm playing with the Switch right now.
Let me take a look at this.
You are at.
It says I have more than 40 hours.
You've been offline for 2 days. What have you been doing for 2 days?
Huh?
Playing
PC? Playing PC?
Okay.
It says I have 40 plus hours in Mario Odyssey.
Okay.
That makes sense because I had 400 moons and it just says 20 or more for me.
Yeah.
I can't wait until they update that. I miss the activity log.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it is.
It's a little strange. I don't know why you have to wait 10 days.
It's weird.
It's very strange. But what was I gonna say? Chris, what do you think about how they handled the difficulty of the after game stuff?
I don't feel like I kind of defer from Real a little bit. I feel like the actual campaign is just run through it really quick just to get the oohs and ahs out of it. But then it's just it opens up to what we kind of expect from most games that have kind of a semi-open world now. You can go explore and do everything afterward. That was my thing when I bought the game, and that was my thing too for a lot of before the Switch kicked off for a lot of Nintendo games. After you beat it for Zelda, unless you're starting it over, what else do you want to do? What else can I do? So in this one, it's just you can go around, play around the world. I've done stuff with just sitting around playing the jump rope for 2 hours, just pressing A. I'm just sitting there jumping this is just stupid stuff, and you can do it on a scooter, bro, if you want to. On that scooter, you can jump rope with the scooter. That's just fire, dog. I'm just that's dope. Everything they did, and then just to go look around the world. And it was a time I think I spent a good hour or two where I wasn't looking for moons. I was just legit slow walking through it and just taking everything in because it's just visually impressive to see them pull this kind of game.
We talk about that goddamn photo mode. Oh my god,
oh, man,
that shit is so distracting. I find myself just taking pictures for no reason. I don't even post them to Twitter. I just have them on my Switch. I'm like, damn, that looks cool. I just take a photo. I love that they put the photo mode in there. It's so cool because none of the other Nintendo games have that.
Mm-hmm.
Which is crazy.
Which they need to have now.
Breath of the Wild should have had that.
Breath of the Wild, yeah.
Yeah,
I kind of tried to do it in game
Yeah.
with the little Sheikah Slate
selfie
thing. Yeah, the selfies and whatnot. But
That's not even close though.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, like that photo mode is just like the coolest shit. I love it. They have that in Uncharted Lost Legacy too. I was using it in there. That's a really cool feature. Yeah,
I think,
more games should do
that's
that.
too where they got that. I know because PS4 has the photo capture mode. All of their like first party games that they want to have do. So they have that photo capture. So when Nintendo said they were doing, I was like, oh, that's dope. That's a good feature.
That's a cool Pokemon Snap, man. That's
That's a whole Pokemon Snap.
Nah, bro. It didn't look as good.
Well, I mean, we're talking 20 years ago.
I mean, it's dope. Like, first of all, the Switch, when she said the Switch should have Pokemon Snap, I don't know. That got to be a thing, too.
That's got to be
Oh
a
my
thing
gosh,
sooner or
that's
later.
please.
Yeah, that got to be a thing. But just moving around the world, dog, like, just doing everything. Like, even if you're not looking for moons. And, like, one of my favorite things, too, though, when you stack the Goombas up and you got to go
I
holler
love
at the
that.
Oh, and you gotta go holler at the girl Goomba. That's
Yeah,
so
I just,
funny.
when you sit up there and walk up to her, I'm like, hey, baby, what up with that moon? No, you know, your man's needs.
Again, one of those Nintendo must be high moments. How do they come up with this and it just makes sense? It's crazy.
That's dope. It's fire. That game is just fire from start to finish.
That is so funny. Those
Nia,
female Goombas are so thirsty.
They're very
Oh my
thirsty,
God.
what?
They're so thirsty.
Hey, Nia, you already know that's all thirsty.
Neil, what do you think about the after game content? How it's handled?
Man, like I haven't played as much as y'all because you know I'm not really like a big Mario head like that. Even though I do like the Mario games, but man, like that in-game content, like you know how like people say like, oh well, wait, beat such and such a game, that's when it really opens up, and like that's true for a lot of games, but with Mario, it's like legit true. Like, there's so much stuff to do, and like a lot of the stuff, I know like my boyfriend's like a big Mario guy, and when he was first, you know, playing, you know, Mario Odyssey, he's like, you know, I enjoyed it and stuff like that, but I'm not really like an exploration type of person when it comes down to Mario. You know, he's more like he likes like the 2D Marios and stuff. Like he's like really like a platforming dude, you know.
You like 3D World?
Yeah, he did, but he still prefers like, you know, like the 2D.
The 2D controller.
So like when he played the, you know, the story mode, he was kind of like, you know, it was fun, but you know, whatever. But then like when he got to like the end, like he's he's so into it now. Because it's like, for people who like you guys were saying, who are like old school Mario, you grew up on the 2D ones, like that's your jam, like the platforming stuff is your jam. Like the end game, like that's where you need to be, man.
Yeah.
And like there's people on Twitter, man, posting some straight up MLG level, like, you know what I'm saying, like platforming skills and stuff. It's crazy, man.
Yeah, like I thought I was good. I saw some guy. There's this level where there's like waves of like lava ooze or something, and you're supposed to jump on the platforms to get around it.
Yes, I saw that.
Jumping around on his hat around the whole level.
All the like, what in the world?
I saw that. That was crazy.
Like, there's some people here that just like the mechanics are just like ingrained in them.
Yeah.
And they can just do anything. It's insane to me how they can do that shit.
That's crazy. I saw that. That's crazy.
It's like the Breath of the Wild stuff, even, where it's like,
Breath of the Wild had a lot of in-game like stuff too.
The what is it? The boomerang, like the dude using the boomerang as like a saw.
That was crazy.
That was crazy.
Wait, what happened?
I never thought about that.
I would have never in a million years thought
using a boomerang
to do
like
that.
a what?
So like, you know,
that
that freezing move, like you freeze time.
Yeah.
Yeah, he used that on a boomerang and turned it into like a chainsaw.
How?
Because he caught it, he froze it in mid-rotation, but it kept spinning, and then he would use it as a chainsaw and cut down enemies.
Did
he use his magnesis or whatever to hold it, and it kept spinning?
Oh,
that was crazy.
And
he was running around chopping enemies in that.
Think of stuff like that.
I think that's the great thing, and Mario has this too. Both Mario and Zelda have this. There's so many different ways to do stuff. Like, people think that we're just, you know, just being hyped and stuff when we talk about, like, Nintendo games and stuff like that. But it's like, their focus on gameplay is so, like, fine-tuned that you could just do the craziest stuff. And it's like, I didn't even know I could do it that way. But it's like, they have the most creative ways to just do things.
No, the
Nintendo
investment is
doesn't know
not
about
in that.
That's true.
The fact that pissed me off too, where like when they were like, "Well, we didn't know the GameCube would have to work with them." Bullshit. Don't lie. But I mean, like when you don't sink crazy money into making sure you got the graphic powerhouse, you got to make up for it in other ways. Yeah. And that's fine. Like I don't understand why people really get mad if like they want Nintendo to make this beast platform. Like, don't get me wrong, if they made a beast platform, like it was just ridiculous, I would of course buy it still. But if you don't have that, you have to make up for it in other ways. And if you know that you have to make good games, like Nintendo can't afford, like they don't really get the opportunity. They can't really afford to have a bad game come out and take a day off, because they aren't like Sony and Microsoft where they have more releases coming all the time, so it's kind of forgettable. So when Nintendo takes an L, they take an L, and we all talk about it, and we like let them know like you don't release enough to come out for that kind of stuff. So your games have to be fine too. So they know that they ain't dumb. So they figure out how to, especially for this gen, and I hope this goes into next year and further, is, you know, we don't get these one and done games. Like that's one thing I really want Sony to get better at. It's like after you run through Uncharted, it's not much to do. You know what I'm saying? You don't really care anymore. Like Horizon, if you can knock out what you haven't done, like that was a start. But like even Nintendo kind of just jumped in on this, and they're better at it than Sony is, in my opinion, already, than just going ahead and being like, well, okay, I still have a world to go mess around with. You can sit for hundreds of hours in Zelda. And like Alex has 40. I think I have like 20 something, close to 20 something in Mario. But you don't get that with a lot of other like first party games. Like they're kind of one and dones unless they have a multiplayer too.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, because they're more story driven games though. Different world. But yeah, like definitely Nintendo's games generally have a lot of replay value. That's kind of like why their games stay still at $60 all the time.
Oh my god, I wish that wasn't a thing.
You can't even do buy two get one freeze though. I was trying to do buy two get one freeze on them boys at Target. I think Meyer letting you do it, but Target was like no Switch game. What the hell you put it up for then?
Yeah, they ain't having that. Maybe on 3DS games, but not Switch games.
So they're not
that camper that gotta go.
Huh?
No,
they're not doing 2-for-1 Switch games.
Yeah, I think Meyer might be doing it, but it was like I was going and getting stuff. Like I was like, okay, well I need to prep and buy some games for the X, so I bought like Origins and Wolfenstein and South Park for PS4. I was gonna buy like 3 games or something for the Switch, and they were like, oh no, bro, it's not Switch games. I'm like, get the fuck out of here.
That's crazy.
My money not good enough for Switch games, so it's not green enough.
You need to pay full price for Switch Gang. Switch Gang hanging out chains, man. That shit ain't free.
Yeah, whoa. Hold on, bro. You don't need that $60. Matter of fact, you trying to get some free stuff, I'm gonna need $70.
That Best Buy Rewards Club? Nah, $60.
That don't work. That don't work on Switch.
That don't work over here.
My man's just knocked my cappy hat off my head. Like, that ridiculous ass hat off the head. Give me $60. I'm sitting there shaking, yes, sir.
Alright, here comes the difficult question. Out of the 3D Mario games, where does Odyssey stand?
My favorite.
It's the best. It's the best.
It's not even close.
I would have said 64 and just tried to been like everybody, like, cause that was where I was at, but just like, it's not gonna be better than 64, so I'm not gonna be
It was 64 for me until like midway, like the Metro Kingdom, New Donk City. I'm like, nope, this is my favorite.
Yeah, that's what happened to like with the ending of it. I was like, this is officially probably the best Mario game ever. Like, this is I think that might be my favorite Mario game ever though. Like, out of anything, that might be it. So I'm just like, sorry 64. And I still got that game, and I'm like looking at it, I just put it face down. I'm like, you bend the throne, bend the knee.
Yeah. Mrs. T, I heard you kind of debating yourself there, second guessing yourself there.
For me, like, I feel like it will be. it's too soon for me. Like I'm coming off of the high of it right now, and we talked about it. The thing that maybe I would be there is the music. Like, I think that's the biggest part of Mario 64 that sticks with me, because there are so many memorable tracks that I just hum and I don't even realize I'm humming them until I'm halfway through. I'm like, oh, I'm humming that Jolly Roger Bay. That's like my favorite. I love Jolly Roger Bay's music, and it's just like,
and
that's the one thing that's holding it right now. I'm sure at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, a couple years maybe down the line, like, yeah, Mario Odyssey is the best.
You gotta give it some time to settle in.
I think 64 was everybody's favorite for a while, and not just because like of what it was on the 64, but just because they've released it so many times in so many different ways, and that a lot of people, like, I bought that game I don't know how many different ways do I own that game. And for me, I know that game front and back, so of course I'm like, that's obviously one of my favorite games of all time, just because I can sit there and play it so many times. But that might be why, at least for me.
I think it's also the impact of Mario 64, right? Because we were coming off of 20 years of run to the left and run to the right. Like that was all you did.
Mario 64 was literally a game changer.
That thing changed everything. So, and yeah, there were 3D applications and wannabe games before that.
They were trash.
They were trash. And that it was the game that like made 3D make sense in video games. Like full polygonal worlds and whatnot.
And they made that god tier N64 controller just for Mario Odyssey.
Yeah,
for Mario 64.
Mario 64. Yeah, so I think that's the only thing that's one reason that Mario 64 is held to such a high esteem, is because of the impact of what it had in the industry at the time. Yeah. So
I get that.
As a game, Odyssey is a better game. I mean, it just is a better game. And it's but then it's also not fair to Mario 64 because it was a way different time.
If you're talking specifically about impact, there's no bigger game than Mario 64.
Yeah, there's no bigger game. So
because that shifted the entire that shifted gaming period.
But that's not what the thing is. That's not what this is about. This is about
we're talking
which
about
is the better Mario game.
Which is the better Mario game? Yeah.
Are you sure that Crash Bandicoot wasn't better because of the commercials?
Oh yeah, those commercials were fire, but the jumping wasn't.
It certainly helped those games sell.
Yeah,
those commercials were fire.
Those
commercials were very good.
That it was a better game because of the commercials. Like if you think it's a better game, that's your opinion. But the
Clip-Clop Gamer.
I can't play commercials. I have to play.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
well, technically you can play commercials on YouTube.
Yeah, you could do that.
I like Crash, and I like going back.
Yeah, I like Crash.
I don't remember if the Crash games were ever that hard. But it pisses me off playing.
They were hard because they didn't control well.
They don't control well.
They still aren't the greatest in controlling though. But I mean, it's better. But it's like, damn, is it always as hard? But whatever.
I don't remember it feeling that bad because I played the remaster one on PS4. Those controls are terrible.
The original Crash. I played it recently.
I used to D-pad,
you have to use a D-pad. Yeah. There's no.
The stick for that is just bad. My thing though, but back to topic, I think that I gave Odyssey more so just not because I loved it and just all that. It's more so that it's a very, very rare to ever see something that is heralded as like legendary,
right? Finally
evolve, and you get to see that what we loved before be made better. And it's pretty much like the general consensus that it's better. There are very few developers out there who can say that they've one-upped themselves with a franchise. I mean, like, I guess you can say like CD Projekt Red has quickly ascended. I love like Naughty Dog, who has ascended through a different franchise from a B team with Last of Us. Like, so like this game was like you both said, 64 was like everything. It was a starter pack. It was a starter kit, bro, for 3D games and how everything was gonna move. And you got to see a game fully evolve, and the icon that everybody knows through gaming fully evolve into something completely different. And now you kind of sitting here like after beating that game, it's like, how do they top that?
Yeah.
Like, there's very few games. There's very few guys who I can legit sit there and say, how do they top that? Like, Nintendo, of course, is one of them. And I mean, even like those are the only two I really consider that. Like when I get a game from Naughty Dog or from Nintendo, I'm like, how do you fix that? How do you get better? There's because you can't. I don't accept 8s or even 9s. If Naughty Dog gives me a 9, I'm like, that's good, but not.
If Last of Us 2 isn't as good as Last of Us 1, I'm gonna be raging.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Like Last of Us 2 to me can't be a 10. It has to be a 12.
Yeah,
you have to find a way to make it a 12. Like,
it's gotta be better.
You gotta figure, but that's the same from the next Mario game too. Like it can't be a 10. It has to be an 11 or a 12. You have to figure it out. Yeah. This is what you did. So now
you raised the bar. Now you gotta
you raised that bar. So now you gotta hope. But like that's the thing though. Both Naughty Dog and Nintendo hold themselves to that standard.
Exactly.
They and Neil Druckmann and whoever else you want to like pick from there, they're like, we know where we're at. Like we know how people look at us. If it's not an A, it's a failure.
Exactly.
That's what I want to hear, and that's what Nintendo has now too for Zelda.
They have that mentality too.
If it's not an A, nah, dog, it gotta be an S now.
If it ain't an A, it's just Sonic. So, Nia, where does Mario Odyssey sit for you in the 3D Mario games?
It's my favorite, man. I think it is officially usurped 64 for me, man. I never thought I would ever say that, but yeah, it's definitely my favorite Mario of all time.
I can't argue with it. I can't argue.
Damn, we got 3 for 3, real.
Yo, we're talking about Mario.
Where does Mario Odyssey sit for you for 3D Mario games?
Well, obviously this is my most favorite Mario game of all time, but if you'll go by the time period, it's kind of hard because 20 years ago, that was like the greatest thing since sliced bread, and we feel the same way now. But if we'll go by who has the better game, of course Odyssey has the better game, but like the way we're looking at Odyssey now is the exact way how we looked at Mario 64 back then. Like they changed the game. That's when we transitioned from 2D to 3D. So yeah, it's kind of hard, but it's kind of hard, but it's not hard. This is obviously the game overall. I love this game. One of the greatest games of all time. And like I said a while ago, like the way Nintendo and Naughty Dog set the standards, like you don't want no 9, you don't want 10, you want 12, you want 20. Yeah, that's what they constantly give us with Uncharted, and Last of Us, and Mario and Zelda.
I still feel like Last of Us is better than Uncharted. Like I love Uncharted.
Last of Us is way better than Uncharted.
Yeah, Last of Us is better than Uncharted 4, dog. So like,
no, Uncharted 4 is a step down from Last of Us.
Like I'm like, this is a really good game, but it ain't Last of Us. Like it's not Last of Us tier good.
It was so, Uncharted 3, I say that.
Yeah, but it's just the fact that when you have somebody like them, when your B team outdoes the A team, nah, dog. Like you can't give me 9. You gotta give me an 11. If it ain't an 11, it ain't acceptable. Like I used to come home, bro. If I got a C in math, I'll get my ass tagged. I mean, I kept getting my ass tagged because I'm just not good at math. I'm just good at counting.
What score did Last of Us get anyway?
94, 95, something like that.
94, 95. It's up there too. But I mean, even still too, like I know a lot of people were, but obviously people who don't have a Switch, but they're really butthurt about like the reviews and how well it did. Does it deserve? And I'll be.
It's nostalgia. Let me go play Crash Bandicoot real quick.
I'll be 100% honest with that too. A lot of games come out, and depending on who's reviewing it, they do let nostalgia influence what's going on. But I mean, when it's like general consensus,
I know not to cut you off though. But one thing I will say is this. Is it nostalgia or is it clout based on who's making said game? Because I feel like sometimes people confuse the two. Because like if you had like, for example, like a studio like Naughty Dog consistently makes fire. You know what I'm saying? Like, would you say the only reason why Uncharted 4 scored well is because people are nostalgic for the Uncharted series? You
Depends
say,
on who you ask.
Naughty Dog has clout. They have good credit, so of course they're gonna get good scores.
Well, but the thing about that too is that it depends on who you're asking, because they're gonna be, obviously if you have access to it and you're not biased, or you're just not biased, you ain't gonna feel no kind of way. But a lot of people are like, feel like Naughty Dog is overrated. Are they really overrated, dog? Or are they really
got
just that
good
damn
credit.
good?
Well,
You know what I'm saying?
Uncharted 4 is extremely overrated. I'll
See,
just say that.
we made this point on Juices Loose about nostalgia. To me, nostalgia, and we all pretty much had a consensus on this. Nostalgia to us was basically, it won't help a new game. Like, if anything, I think nostalgia hurts the score for a new game. Like, well, this isn't like this. You know, that's what happened with Zelda. Like, Zelda got 10s, obviously, but there's still cracks in that 10 because, I want the dungeons, or no, I can't swim underwater, all this stuff, right? So, if anything, right, I can accept that, and that's why I think nostalgia actually hurts the newer game. Like, my nostalgia for Super Mario 64 hasn't I can't definitively say that Odyssey is better right now because of the nostalgia I have for 64. Yeah. So I don't think nostalgia gives a pass to the new game. I think it hurts. I think it actually hurts the newer game when you hold it to a higher standard because of your nostalgia for that.
Nostalgia didn't help Bubsy.
Nostalgia didn't help Sonic.
Nostalgia definitely not help Sonic.
It depends on what you're asking, because like
I think nostalgia hurts Sonic.
For people that you ask for like Zelda, you see that. Even for people that you ask though for Zelda, it's just like, not saying again, Zelda's a 9 or a 9.5, but like, is Zelda a 10? Like, on a technical level, Super Mario Odyssey performs well. Yeah. Like, I know most of the time, Zelda does too, but there's very noticeable areas where it doesn't perform well. That's still part of the game. And my thing is it's an opinion, but you can't crack down on games like at the similar time when Mass Effect was coming out, which had other problems, but performance issues were also part of the problem. And that is what people graded it on. You can't say, well, Zelda has performance issues, like, and it's like apparent, but we're not gonna count it as part of the review. Then you can't count it for the other one you did. That's not fair. Like, Super Mario Odyssey just is one of them games that does not have that issue anywhere. It's just all around that good. But nostalgia can help or hurt. It just depends.
And I don't think, like, for me, a 10 doesn't mean the game's perfect. I think for me, I would give it exactly the experience you have, the impact the game has on you as a fan of that series or whatever. I think that's where you can say, "Oh, this is a 10 for me. This is great."
Right. Yeah, the overall experience was a 10.
I'm just saying that more so, like, if you're saying, like, if people downgrade or they crack down on performance, and like, in your review where you dedicate a paragraph or two to that, that's a minus, dog. You can't give it a 10 there. I
can't crack that. I would never crack down on performance, first of all, because one of my favorite consoles of all time is the N64, and it has terrible performance in a lot of games, like GoldenEye 007. The frame rate drops to like 10 frames per second.
Pretty bad on the frames.
Right, so like, but I still look at that game, I still regard that game as greatness. So
yeah, and I'm not saying that, and the 9 is not saying it's not greatness.
I'm not.
It's just more so saying, like, when you have something, and I'm not like knocking anybody who gives Zelda a 10. Like, if that's what you think, that's what you think. I just think that, like, when I look at games and if I have my own personal review or somebody reviews it, if you tell me like it's performance issues and they're apparent and it's multiple times that you noticed it, you can't give it a 10, dog, because like it's hampered experience. Like, it's not like it's a one and done thing. Like Fallout dropping to 0 frames. No, that's not a 10. You don't deserve higher than you shouldn't have got a 9.
Right.
But like, you did, because people are fans of Fallout. Like, you can't ignore those.
I think this Zelda gets a 10 because it's a 10 to the Zelda fans, because that, the Zelda formula is getting kind of old.
It was getting a little worn out.
It was definitely getting very fatigued there after Skyward Sword. And this game is so much different than that, but still the same. I think that's why people, this is great. This is perfect. This is the perfect Zelda for me. This is the perfect Zelda for right now. This is the one we needed at this point.
Yeah.
I think that's how most people look at it.
Yeah. Because I was looking at the reviews when I saw them, I was like, okay, this is 9. And I was like, when I played it, I was like, okay, this is a really high 9. But I'm guessing the extra 1 or the 0.5 came because it's Zelda. Now, this is just me, I didn't get into Zelda like that until I was about, like, in college. So I started running through Zelda like through school. So that's when I started playing it. So I wasn't as like, I'm gonna give it the extra 1 because of that. I was like playing it, so like, okay, this ain't a 10. It's really good. This is not a 10.
It was 1987 for me. It was Legend of Zelda.
Since freaking Ocarina, not Ocarina of Time, Link Between
Link to the Past.
Link to the Past.
Link to the Past. Yeah.
Link to the Past. Yeah.
So yeah, me and Zelda go way back.
Like, I had a marathon on board.
Okay.
Yeah.
We all think that Uncharted 4 is overrated. Like, it's a good game. I do like it, but as far as
It's
DLC,
severely overrated.
it is, because if you look at Uncharted 4 and Rise of the Tomb Raider and look at the Metacritic scores, I'm like, Tomb Raider is a way better game.
It is.
And Uncharted, they basically got a better score because it's Uncharted. It is an established franchise.
Well, Uncharted has the better production value, has the better story, has all that stuff. Like, I'm a huge... Uncharted is like my favorite Sony franchise. Like, I love Uncharted. But I played 4 and I was like, it's great, but, you know, there's some chinks in the armor. You know, it's not... I felt it was overrated. And if I can feel that way, then it, you know, I
feel like
probably is.
Like, I thought it was a 9. Like, the 10s that it got.
It wasn't overrated by much. I think
Uncharted 4 is like an 8, 8.5.
I thought Uncharted was like a 9 because I'm like, don't get me wrong, like I like Tomb Raider. Rise of Tomb Raider was a really good game.
Yeah.
I just felt like they're not like everyone put Crystal Dynamics at a point, and it wasn't just that. It was just that, you know, Rise of Tomb Raider and Uncharted just happened to mash up because of the same genre.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like they did well, but they, like he said, you don't have the production value. You don't have the memorable characters yet, like built into Tomb Raider yet.
Right.
So like this game meant more, and you got a satisfying ending for what you wanted for Drake. Like Drake never got to get the happy ending. He never got it, and he finally got it. So that was why, you know, I feel like the game was a 9. I think a lot
of people raised it to a 10 because of that ending. That was a great ending.
Yeah, exactly. It was
the ending was good. It tied up the story. I think Lost Legacy's a better game, though, to be honest.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know about that one. I like Lost Legacy, but
Lost Legacy's like
more action.
Yeah, because I feel like Uncharted 4 has so many drawn out. Like the first 7 chapters of Uncharted 4 was a fucking train wreck.
Yeah, it was very slow.
And then the last 5 chapters could have been 1 chapter.
But I think the thing for me for Uncharted was more so, at least for the 4th game, was the set pieces in this game were probably the best that they've ever done, just because of the amount of insanity that was going on and how good it looked. Don't get me wrong, though, the train and stuff is fire, but it's like, nah.
The train, the tank sequence, that shit was unbeatable.
Nah, I don't know about that one, bruh. Going through that, like running through the mud and stuff on that truck, like that was fire. I do like Nadine and Chloe together. That is a very unusual combo. I will get.
It works too.
They're doing really good with the female characters.
I gotta get that DLC. I gotta get that game.
It's very good. It's on sale for $20 right now at Best Buy.
Oh, it's Best
Buy. Yeah, Horizon Zero Dawn too.
Yeah, Horizon's $20 too.
Is it? I'm glad I waited.
Does the DLC come with it too?
No, it's
the DLC came out. The DLC came out yesterday. Aloy is big.
Really?
How much is the DLC?
It's $14.99.
Really?
That's not bad.
Yeah, it was good. So.
And for me, Odyssey, it is for me the best. Like, it's finally a 3D Mario has surpassed 64 in my eyes. 64, just nostalgia-wise, like that was the 3D game I grew up with. I grew up with that generation, Super Nintendo and 64. That game's always been untouchable to me. But like Odyssey, I haven't played a game that's made me this happy since I was that age. So for that fact alone, Odyssey is the better game. Because like you get jaded as you get older as a gamer because you've done everything, you've played everything, you've done everything, you've experienced everything. Odyssey brings you back to when you enjoyed gaming, and that makes it the best. Period.
It made me feel like I ain't had bills. Then I turned it off, and I remember.
And it was like the only game. Well, I don't know when you got your 64. I got mine launch day, and it was like the only game I had for like months.
Oh yeah, that was the only game I had for a long time. It ain't like now. I just run out and buy every fucking game I want. But
right,
when I was a kid, Super Nintendo, all I had was I had Mario Kart, I had Super Mario World, I had Donkey Kong.
I didn't have any games growing up either.
That's a testament to Odyssey, I think, too, because you know we regard 64 the way we do because of, you know, it had no competition. You know, like, there was no other games out there. for the N64.
Yeah.
That were distracting you at the time. So you played it, and you played the crap out of it.
I played the crap out of that game.
Yeah, I'm sure you have it memorized. I bet you can know where everything is.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of competition. There's a lot of noise in the gaming industry. The gaming industry is way bigger than it was back then. And a Mario game, platform Mario game, can still stand out the way Odyssey is, and that's a testament to how great this game is. So.
And it's a single player game, which is supposedly dying. So
right.
When you do things right, dog, like this is just something I want just for Nintendo to just realize, like, when you don't shortcut and you do things the right way, you look at the fan base like your fan base. You can't depend on casuals. Like, you gotta take care of them second.
Yeah, you gotta depend on your core first. You
gotta make sure the core is straight first. Like the Switch, everything is like they looked at the core first, and then they thought casuals. That's fine.
Yeah, that Blue Ocean. Yeah, that Blue Ocean stuff, that casual stuff, that is funny money. You can't depend on it.
Yeah, that's
you can't depend on that.
That's not a stable check.
Yeah, it's definitely not.
Ask some Xbox dudes where their fan base went. Oh, it's PS2 guys. My bad.
Because they're not loyal.
Yeah, look what happens when you don't respect your core. You get the Xbox One, you get the Wii U. But I think that's it, unless there was some stuff we missed about Odyssey. I think we covered it all. Maybe boss fights, I guess. I don't think we talked about boss fights. You guys feel the boss fights are okay?
I know Real said something about the 3 hits and you're done kind of thing. I was kind of
That's a Mario staple, though.
I was kind of hoping they would get rid of that, to be honest, because I felt like, you know, even though, you know, Zelda does have like a lot of flaws, one of the things that they did right is they got rid of so many conventions. Because you know how usually Zelda boss fights was, okay, you hit the thing 3 times, then it goes to the second phase, and you hit it like 4 times, and then it dies. It's like, you know, okay, whatever, we know what to expect. And Mario, you know, kind of has their own little thing. I was kind of hoping that they would kind of give us more larger than life type of fights. Not saying that the fights weren't enjoyable. They were definitely enjoyable and they were definitely fun, but
what about the little centipede one though? That was fire.
Which one?
The centipede that was wrapped around the building.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
the tank.
Was dope. Now that one was dope. That one was
the
dope.
setting and everything was great in that.
Very cool.
I just feel like those type of fights though, I would have liked to see them a little bit more often. I mean, like fighting the brutals, like they're funny, you know what I'm saying, and stuff like that. But it's like,
but you wanted more stuff like that damn dragon.
Yeah, that dragon was
stuff like
fun.
The dragon.
Yeah.
The dragon was awesome.
And then that one little flowery enemy from the wood kingdom where you have to hit the blocks and hit like the little glowy parts of his stem.
Yeah. Those are creative bosses.
I was hoping to get more stuff like that.
The only boring boss fights I found were the brutal fights. Like the actual
and you see them
world
like
bosses
most
were good.
Though, like those are like the main boss fights. Though.
Yeah, well they're wedding planners. They get in the way.
That's why I was kind of hoping that you know we would have more like the ones I mentioned before, but.
That dragon was dope.
That dragon came out of left field.
Out of nowhere.
I was like,
that came out of nowhere.
The second you beat Lunch Kingdom, that game gets dark.
Yeah, like what the heck?
I was looking at that like, so
what is this? Is it Dark Souls?
Elder Scrolls, Mario Odyssey.
I thought this was like Fire Emblem or something. And I'm like, so did they cross us with Fire Emblem or something? Like a sneak peek or something?
That was so cool. The Bowser fight's a lot of fun too.
Yeah, the Bowser fight's great, man.
The dragon one was when like my brother like came in and looked at it and he was like, "This Mario? How much did it cost? Hold on, wait, they got dragons." I'm like, I guess.
It's funny how dragons like transform people's minds. Like, bro, you got dragons?
Oh shit! When did Mario get adults? They got dragons.
And then you see a T-Rex, like what? They got dinosaurs too?
I love how the T-Rex is like photorealistic and you're still in a cartoony
I know.
world.
Yeah, like,
it's
and it works.
So So funny.
But let me hold my nose up here. Hold on. Those boss fights were not as hard as the ones in Mario 64. What? Oh, you mean the 3 Bowser fights where you just grab him by the tail and throw him?
Grab by the tail, spin around and throw him. Or the time you go behind the Bob-omb guy and spin around and throw him just like the other boss.
Do you know, the first time I fought him, I thought you had to throw him off because I just thought that was too easy.
Yeah, me too.
So I kept throwing him off, and he just kept coming back. I was like, well, how you beat
what
this
did
dude?
this do? Why do he die?
The first time I seen that dude when he jumped back up, I was like, this nigga got hops.
Oh man.
Real, you thought the boss was too easy.
Yeah, it was too easy, but it was still fun as hell. Like the dragon, like
That dragon was so epic.
That type of boss, like I want more than 3 hits. Like I want to feel that I earned it, and the boss like that, can I at least do 6 hits so to make it seem like I did something. It was fun as hell. But yes, we didn't expect that, like a dragon on a Mario game. Maybe they might get some Xbox guys to buy the game. So I don't know.
Oh damn! That octopus boss was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
The octopus boss was
he was fun.
Yeah.
They need to do more bosses like that in Mario games, though, for sure.
They do.
I like that. I think they did a good evolution of the bosses in this game.
I do too. I agree.
Now, we just need to get some guns. Get some guns and we
And a
get...
we got the backwards cap. We just need the gun now.
We need Mario grinding on rails. Come on, let's do it.
Oh my god.
Y'all already. Nia took the band-aid off me. She brought up Scalebound again. I was like,
I forgot you were looking forward to that.
you know that was one of my dog. I was legit screaming when I saw that game. I was like, this is a game that I've always imagined. And then, of course, it took the wrong platform.
That game broke Platinum so bad that one of the main guys went and worked for EA right after that.
Good news is Nier Automata is supposedly getting a sequel because it did.
Oh, good. That game is fucking fire.
So
that game
they
is so
were
good.
talking about they got stuff in the prepping stages for something.
Yeah, because they're apparently gonna go under. Nier Automata saved them.
Wow.
Yeah, they were doing terrible because they had all those shitty games come out at once that didn't sell well, and then Scalebound got canceled, and Star Fox Zero sold back
Legend of Korra game. What was I thinking?
Yeah, that Legend of Korra game. Their Ninja Turtle game did really poorly. The Transformers game is very good, but it sold very poorly. So like they had a lot of flops.
They're so hit and miss, man.
So Platinum, what have we learned here today? When you are making Japanese games, you rely on Nintendo or PlayStation. You cannot rely on dragons and swords on Xbox.
Even when they
have a good, it's not gonna sell.
Even when they make great games, they don't sell.
They don't sell. They're like cursed or something.
Yeah.
And also,
I mean, Sunset Overdrive had guns, but they were colorful guns, so
it looked good. I don't want nobody thinking we hate that. I don't hate Xbox.
I got it.
Everybody else do, but still, they just Japanese games and Xbox don't mix.
They don't mix.
Stop doing it.
That game made me buy an Xbox One.
Yeah, I literally bought an Xbox One for Sunset.
Yeah, so did Coupon. She got the white Xbox One that came with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that game was fire. I think mostly Nintendo fans bought that game.
Yeah, I love that game.
For which game?
For Sunset.
Oh, for Sunset. That game pissed me off because Sony screwed me. I was like, you on here, you can't have everything. Just come on. Like, stop being stupid.
And now they're sitting around wanting to do 2 and nobody's biting.
That's crazy, man.
Again, to me, that's retarded too. I'm like, so we're gonna do this twice. Like, Insomniac is giving you a second chance, PlayStation, to do this.
Yeah, Yoshida better be getting on the phone.
Yeah, dog. Like, I'm like, come on, fam. Like, Insomniac. First of all, I respect Insomniac for wanting to stay,
neutral.
Yeah, I respect it. But it's like, bro, you know where your fan base is. Yoshida, you know that this is instant bread.
I think they knew right away after how well Ratchet and Clank sold.
Oh, that was an amazing game. I love that game.
But I love Yoshida. He makes mistakes, dog. Cause like Demon Souls, he messed up Demon Souls. That's why that went multi-platform, which is why he got Bloodborne. So it's like, so you gonna make the same mistake with Sunset Overdrive? No, this needs
I can't believe Sunset Overdrive was an Xbox game, man.
Yeah.
What a waste.
We need to house it. Like, let PlayStation house that. At least let it go multi-plat so it can survive.
Yeah.
So it can live. They want to make it. I hope it gets made. Like maybe Nintendo swoops in, like Bayonetta style, or like Yoshida gets in there. Like somebody, man. Because like Phil ain't interested.
And you got Spider, bro. You working with him now? You got Spider-Man coming out. You already.
Yep.
They already know what's up.
And that Spider-Man game uses the same wall running technique from Sunset Overdrive.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Exactly.
It's exactly the same.
They said it was like the stuff they learned from Sunset they put in here is like 4 or 5 times bigger than Sunset Overdrive. Okay,
Yep, that makes me happy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So you need to go ahead and put Sunset Overdrive 2 over, like just put it if it could be PlayStation and PC, dog. We straight. We good here. Just let this game happen.
It's sad that nobody wants to get on that. That game was so good.
And it scored really well too.
Yeah.
Scored great. It's awesome game. I just don't understand this industry.
So fans, man, they don't buy games. They didn't buy that. They let Quantum Break die. Like
I ain't like
every
Quantum
exclusive
Break.
does. Quantum Break would have been better without the TV cutscene stuff.
I think so
TV
too.
stuff
I think that
ruined it.
Like it broke the immersion.
Yeah, it, like
And
I
it
honestly
felt like that was longer than the chapters were. I'm like, dude, I don't care.
there were like 30 minutes. Like, how much money do you guys waste on this shit?
That was that Xbox. That was that TV box stuff. That
Yeah.
Yeah,
remnants
that's
of-
when they were pushing that.
Yeah. Remember Steven Spielberg? Where is he now?
Yeah, was he supposed to be making like a Halo series or something like
I
that?
thought the Halo show was still coming. I thought they said they were.
I think it's still coming.
Is
Yeah.
it?
I mean, maybe next gen.
That was a long time ago.
Hey, maybe it's next gen, but
2013 they were talking about that stuff, man.
Maybe they were waiting for the 6 teraflop beast.
Mm.
That's what they needed.
So is it
But,
gonna be like
yeah.
exclusive to like live or something? The show?
I would.
I thought that it was gonna be on like. I swear I thought they were talking about that was gonna be like an HBO or Showtime thing or something. Like it was gonna be on TV. Like and I'm sure you could have streamed it through Xbox or something. But they were saying they had like it was still happening. It wasn't dead. And I'm just like, you need to make Halo 6's campaign awesome. Stop
I mean,
putting
for
money
real
in that.
That's all
though,
that
like just
matters.
focus on Halo 6,
Yeah.
bro.
Halo 6 needs to be good because Halo 5's campaign was
It was
boring.
just a setup game. It wasn't really
Yeah.
like a real campaign, to be honest. If you're keeping it real.
The multiplayer was fire, but then
multiplayer-
Multiplayer is good, but the campaign is so bad.
It was like a marketing ad for Halo 6. I'm like, so you did all of that to make me feel like Locke and Chief were gonna get at it. And then when
I'm
Locke and Chief got at it,
That
saying
was such a lie.
that was
such
a lie, bro.
when Locke
That
and
was
Chief
a
finally
lie.
got
They
at
should have
it,
gotten in trouble for that.
sons, bro. Like that wasn't like I don't even know why we was hyping that up for Locke and Chief because I was looking at it. I'm like, yo, Chief should just sun my man's real quick, like, and he sunned him so quick. I'm like,
Yeah,
well, that
Chief
was the
took him
fight.
down in seconds.
and that was the fight. I'm like, so like a year, 5 second
Yeah,
fight.
they had a year-long campaign about hunting the Chief for like a 10-second fight.
That's
No,
crazy,
that's
right?
that's that retro buying. That's retro buying Mike Tyson fights, bro.
Right?
Crazy.
Hey, you better be in your seat when that fight starts with Mike Tyson back in the day.
Oh yeah.
Over.
But yeah, I think we're good for Odyssey. I think we talked about everything. We pretty much done with this episode, guys. It was a lot of fun. Get to have Ms. T on here, and Chris. Nice to see you back on the cast. It's been a while.
Hey, yes, sir.
But yeah, let's get out of here. It's been a fun show. We had a lot of cool stuff to talk about. We got real freaking out. That was hilarious because of Sonic. So that's always
y'all
always a good time.
Guys. I've been quiet this whole time. Like y'all. won't freak out.
Sir, I'm recapping the show. All right.
Don't start with me.
Give our you guys want to do questions? Oh yeah, I totally forgot about the questions. Yeah, we can ask a few questions and we'll get out of here. But yeah, I don't know, like, let's see what
He was like, "Oh, this is the new rules segment of the Bill Maher show. Only the host speaks quiet."
Let's see. I hear more people talk about Sonic Forces than the Xbox One X. Goddamn. I hope that's not true. I honestly, as much as I make fun of Xbox and Microsoft lately, I want them to do better.
They did, didn't Phil recently say that they're investing?
Yeah, Phil said now that they're done launching the Xbox One X, they have more money that they can spend on exclusives, which is what I've been thinking for a while. Those dudes, they have a money cap on them.
None of those are gonna come to fruition.
People think, people think they can just dig into Microsoft's pockets and the Xbox division, but it doesn't work that way.
The new president of Microsoft clearly has a limit for them, and Phil has to play within it. And all his money was tied up in the Xbox One X, which apparently was been being made since like 2012. So that's why we've had such mediocre exclusives from them. So now that they have money and they're going to be buying studios to make exclusives, I'm very happy.
So my thing was like, for the X, they should have pushed Gears of War back for it.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Because
that would have been a great exclusive.
A different game.
Yeah.
No, I don't really think any of these games are like, they're gonna have Microsoft different from how Nintendo and especially Sony do like exclusives. Sony will keep going, like launching brand new games. It's like the final year when the new platform comes out. Like, this could have waited a year.
Yeah, at this point, it's gonna be very hard for them.
Last of Us should have been a PS4 exclusive, but like, but the thing is, like, when
the install base, you can't just let the install base.
You can't get away from that. Yeah.
But when the new Xbox kicks off, though, it'll come out and it'll have like a good, like, you should have a good, starting 2 years.
Hopefully.
Whereas like Sony's gonna, again, like they always do,
take a couple of years.
They're gonna take 2 years. They're gonna dance around with third parties until all their guys are recouped and ready to show stuff. And then once the ball rolls, it rolls. But like Xbox doesn't I don't think what's the point of wasting all that time unless the X is gonna carry you another couple of years? You know what I'm saying? Like another maybe 3 to 4 years, but I don't see that. 4 years for the X for these games to come out? Nah.
I don't know, man. But Microsoft's on this whole no more generations nonsense. So, like, maybe the X is going to be here for 4 years, and they're not going to actually do a separate console.
I think it might.
I think they're hell bent on making everything connect together. So I don't think they're going to.
I still think you could do that, though. I think that the thing is, eventually, like, and don't get me wrong, like the X is a beast for as far as console goes.
Yeah, definitely.
I own it, so it is really nice. But like, technology progresses very fast, and again, once that curb hits, and we start seeing like it already doesn't do everything native 4K, and it does it 4K 30. So again, once that mark happens, and then the veil gets lifted, and Sony's done with the Pro. Do you respond or do you just keep going there? Because you're not going to have the games, and then you won't have the power aspects. So you won't have any aspects. So you have to ride this out for at least 2 years, at least until 2020, I guess. But
yeah, I understand where they're coming from, because it's like you said, tech moves way faster. You can't go on that 30-year-old, 25-year-old business model.
No, we're never going to see a 7-year console run again.
Yeah.
But I don't know, 2 years for Xbox One X, I think that would burn their fans so hard, and they can't even afford that right now. Let's see what we got here. What games are y'all picking up for the rest of the year? What we got? November, December. It's a bunch of Switch third-party stuff coming out. This could be any platform, guys. So who's picking up what? Real, I know you got a lot of games you want to get.
Sonic Forces.
No, not really. Not really. I'm more invested to get an Xbox One X. I hear a lot of good things about it. Like,
see this guy here? He wants hardware, not software. What a fraud.
If you let me finish. You finish, Alex? You finish?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Well, I'm a huge fan of third-party games, and basically, a lot of third-party games come out this year, and it's going to run best on the Xbox One. That's another reason. The other reason is that I missed out on a shitload of games on 360, so I have a big-ass back catalog of games, and and some of them are enhanced. So yes, that will look a lot better and will run a lot better on the Xbox One S. So yeah, that's another reason why I want to get the Xbox One S, because it's just superior overall. Not just from the Xbox One S, from the PS4 Pro, it's superior. So I will be picking that up. I don't know, maybe sometime, maybe in December. I don't know. I will get one. But as far as the games I'm going to get, of course, Xenoblade. I'm getting that, and I'm on the fence if I'm going to get Skyrim on the Switch just to show support for third parties. I know you can buy it real cheap on Xbox and PlayStation or PC. but like the way that this system is rolling with third-party support, I would like to be a part of the, be a part of the success of, of the third-party games selling for the Switch. So I might pick up Doom for the third time and Skyrim. I never played Skyrim before, so this will be brand new to me.
You are a sinner, and I just need you to know that.
Okay, did you not hear what I just said a while ago? I missed out on a lot.
I know. I heard you. You still, that don't make you not a sinner. What?
Okay. So yeah, like it's a lot of games for me to play on Xbox. So yeah, I'm good, and I got a lot of backlog of games. So as far as the games, probably just Doom, Skyrim, and Xenoblade. That's probably it. I'm done. I got too many damn games to play.
Okay. Nia, what you looking forward to for the next 2 months?
I don't even know, man. Like, I don't know. I'm so random. It's like whatever piques my interest at the time is what I buy. Y'all know me. I don't really have a rhyme or a reason for the stuff that I do in terms of games, man.
Nia do be tweeting out them random games.
Bro, I play the most random stuff. I'm such a hipster, bro, when it comes down to gaming. But for sure, I know for 100% fact, I am definitely getting Xenoblade 2. I got the custom little controller, and what I'm saying, I'm definitely ready for that. So I really do want Assassin's Creed though.
Origins looks pretty good.
It's looking hype, man.
It does look good.
It's half price at Target on Black Friday, guys. There's a shit ton of games on Best Buy Black Friday sale or half price.
I can get it on a PC. That's
forward to
I
that.
prefer to play it.
Actually, a lot of third-party Switch games are half price at Best Buy.
Really?
So that's pretty cool. Yeah, I was surprised to see that. But yeah, Best Buy Black Friday, there's like 10, something like almost like 10 games that are gonna be half price.
Oh well, I'll be there.
Yeah. Mr. T, what are you looking forward to? November, December?
Everything. I just
Mr. T rich.
No, I just bought a farming simulator.
Man, you legit bought Farming Simulator?
I did.
I heard a rumor that Mr. T is a Farming Simulator enthusiast.
I grew up in upstate New York, and Future Farmers of America and all that stuff was
okay. So it's like a real farming simulator.
Yeah, it's a real farming simulator. Like
I thought it was just like some goofy stuff where you just like messing around. I don't know.
Oh no, I mean this series has been around for quite a while. Like the last time I played it was probably like original Xbox.
Yeah,
it's been around a while. So
I think the reason why I thought that is because of that Goat Simulator game. So I just assumed all the simulator games are like, okay, this is some goofy nonsense.
No, I mean they have like like licensed equipment, the real stuff.
Wow.
There's like a stock market you have to deal with, and when you're selling your goods, it's way
that's
deep.
Crazy.
Yeah.
So basically, it's IRL Stardew Valley. That's what's up.
Yeah, it's like basically, yeah. So I got that. I'm getting Doom on Friday.
Oh, nice.
I'm getting Skyrim. I'm buying Skyrim a week from then for the third time.
See, I'm torn.
Yo, don't you wish there was some way you could sync your saves with this shit across platforms?
Man. That would be great. If I can bring over my 100 and whatever hours that I already have.
That's the problem I have with double dipping. I don't want to restart.
Yeah.
Like I'm
restarted something
but
else.
Like legit, I don't care, man. Like I told y'all, if Xenoblade Chronicles X ever gets a Switch port, I'm definitely buying that.
I would not touch it with a.
That'd be tough to start over.
I will buy 2 copies, fam.
But
anyway,
yeah,
I didn't mean to impose on you.
No, it's fine. Chronicles, obviously, Xenoblade Chronicles 2. And there's some indie games here and there. I was gonna get what's the racing game? Gear Club. Until I saw the price and
that price
content.
is too high.
I'm like, nope. I'll wait till you get a little cheaper. I was gonna get what's the LA Noire. I was gonna buy that a second time.
Yeah.
But with the price increase with the download, like that was just too much for me. Like that's a bridge too far.
Yeah, I didn't understand that. Why is it $10 more?
Like, why is it $10 more?
Card?
Right. If I still need my own space.
That's stupid.
Usually when that happens, they give you that option or whatever. But
yeah,
so that killed it for me. But and there's like I said, there's some cool indie games that are coming that we don't know exactly when. So I'm looking forward to those too.
Chris, Mr. Xbox One X here. What are you getting?
All right. So first and foremost, I don't really do third-party games on Nintendo consoles. After the Wii U, I learned the lesson. I don't really do it.
Fair enough.
But I know I'm that guy that people are like, you're the problem. But like, I'm getting Xenoblade. I am thinking about getting Doom only because, like, I know some friends are getting it on Switch, but then I just got the X, so I kind of want to play Doom on the X and see how that looks.
Don't you already have Doom on Xbox?
No, I borrowed it, but it's gonna be like $14 at Best Buy. So
yeah, it's super cheap on Xbox now, anyways.
Yeah, I'm getting it. I didn't mention it. I'm getting it on both. I'm actually getting it for PC as well. So
it's
I'm
so
just
cheap on
it
PC.
Yeah, it's like $15 the last time I saw it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's cheap. But as far as like everything, like other than Xenoblade 2, I mean, I pretty much like bought every big release from Origins and Shadow and War and Wolfenstein. So like I was taking advantage of these buy two get ones.
Nice.
But I'm probably gonna buy I'm probably gonna get Battlefront, dog, because I'm a huge Star Wars guy. So I'm like, even with the loot boxes and stuff, I'm like, God damn it, I know I'm gonna buy this because
I just want to play the story. I don't actually care about the multiplayer.
Like I that's what I care about though.
There's
like
everyone's like. There's
everyone
certain
just really
franchises
cares.
that just kind of has you by the collar, and
yeah,
Star Wars is definitely one of the.
Yeah,
Star Wars is one of those.
Star Wars is one, and I mean, I'm that guy that every year it's just like I'm not gonna do Call of Duty, and I never do it. I never do it until like I get like 5 people text me at midnight.
Yeah,
like, bro, we just got caught, and we all agree not to do it, and they all like
peer pressure's a hell of a drug, man.
Yeah, and so I'm like, fuck, okay, well let me download WW2, and like. I was like, well, I'm not gonna get Battlefront 2 because they're being stupid. And then I'm looking at it, and now I got the X, and I'm just like, damn it, I gotta get this. So I don't know. But mostly, I'm still probably gonna play most of my games on a Pro or like if not split it, just because like I don't care about the power, dog. Like other than this gen, Sony's never, and I guess last gen too, Sony never really had the power advantage, so it was never really about that. It's just that I like Sony's ecosystem, so that doesn't really matter to me that I have the X. So, like most games next year, I don't even think I'm touching on Xbox. So, but this year, I'm pretty much got everything. And I guess I might go back and get. I might go and get Rayman again because why not have that game again?
I think Rayman's gonna go down at $20. I think that was.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, yeah, that's worth it.
At $20, that's a really good game.
Oh, yeah, Evil Within 2. I forgot Evil Within 2 is cheap.
Man,
so I'm gonna. Nah, I didn't play it. I need to play. I need to go back and play through the first one, man, because I don't remember jack about it. So
yeah, both. I think it's both Evil Within 2 and Wolfenstein 2 are both gonna go down to $30 on Best Buy.
Yeah, I'm waiting on that.
That's a good deal
to get Wolfenstein 2 because I'm getting the Switch version as well, so I might as well.
Might as well cheap out while he can. Yeah,
right.
For me, Xenoblade Chronicles 2, of course, that game is gonna be amazing. I'm actually gonna pick up Doom. I wasn't gonna do it, but I've been buckling. I traded in a bunch of games today, so I only have to pay for half of it, so it lessens the blow. I was sitting on a bench, and I was thinking to myself, God damn it, I want Doom in my hands right now. So that was the reason. It just came to me. So, dude, I'm not getting Skyrim. I've had 6 years to get interested in Skyrim. I've not been ever interested in Skyrim, so that's not happening.
What?
I just don't care about Skyrim. I don't know what it is. It doesn't click with me.
Yeah,
it should, though, because I like those kind of games, but there's something about Skyrim. It just looks so fucking boring to me.
not even with the Master Sword, dog. You don't want to smack nobody with the Master Sword.
That Link costume's so ugly, though.
Man, that's what you bought Amiibos for.
I bought Amiibos to sit on a shelf so I could look at.
I think the guy in it is ugly, so it doesn't mesh well.
Maybe that's what it is.
I mean, he ain't lying.
The character's
like
really
he looks
ugly.
like really muddy, like that.
Yeah,
he has a dark, muddy look to him. So
yeah, I guess that's what it is. It's not the costume; it's the character. It just looks ugly. But LA Noire, I've never been interested, so I'm not really getting that. There's a couple indie games I can't really remember the names at the moment right now, but there's a few that are dropping. I know that Shantae DLC is dropping this year. I'm getting that for sure.
Is it Rocket League coming next week too? Rocket League.
Oh yeah, Rocket League. Oh, definitely gonna get Rocket League. Yeah.
Forget about that.
And Wolfenstein 2, I'm going to get that. And I think that's going to be it for the rest of the year.
I left out a game. I know there's going to be a sin that I haven't played. but I need to buy Shovel Knight.
You've never played Shovel Knight?
I've never played Shovel Knight.
That's a fun game.
I've never played Shovel Knight. Everyone always talks about it. I just never gotten around to it.
Oh, you got to get it in Shovel Knight.
I always think there's two must-play indie games, and that's Shantae games and Shovel Knight. Those are must-plays.
No Cuphead? No Cuphead?
Cuphead too, yeah. Cuphead's actually really fun. You should probably beat it, real. Yeah.
I'm still gonna get Cuphead.
So you should have to throw some shade.
Just saying.
Sonic Forces is $24.99 too, bro. You got that.
I'll wait till it's $4.99. You gotta drop that too.
If you can hold one button and beat the game, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right?
Somebody call it Sonic
for Sonic Forces?
I just saw a video of this dude. He holding down one button.
You can just press one button, beat the level.
I guess it's like one of the easier levels, but still, that's
it's
crazy.
It's probably just that one level, but still.
Yeah, still, it might just be that one.
Kind of automatic running.
No, that's wax off.
That's
let's do one more question and we'll get out of here. That's an interesting one since we have an Xbox One X owner in here. Do you think Xbox will have a good year next year, or are they going to continue to struggle?
Personally, I think they're going to probably drop another 2, maybe. It's in the middle for me. Let me be honest. It's going to be in the middle. I don't see the point in them really letting bombs off like that on the X. Like, I don't see it, man. Like, that's my thing. I think they'll have some releases. I don't think it's going to be like their 2015 was the highlight year for Xbox. So, like, I don't think it's going to be back to that. Like, I think at this point forward, and it's not just because I like Sony and Nintendo, I like Xbox too, but I just think at this point, Sony's too far gone, bro. Like, it is what it is. Their games are out. Nintendo clearly has like a planned schedule for when to release everything, and those guys are just both dominant right now. So after the hype around the X and everything slows down, it's kind of like was back to games, because like when you couldn't find a Switch, it was about finding one. That was the battle. Now it's about games. Now having the PS4 is about games. So when everyone has their X and Christmas is over, next year is, do you have games? We got Sea of Thieves, dog, and that's a super divisive game. So not everyone wants it.
And Crackdown 3, another divisive game.
Yeah, Crackdown 3 doesn't look the best, and that was the showcase for the X.
Yep.
So
State of Decay still out there, or
that's 2018 also.
State of Decay 2, but I mean, like, those games, like, are those games like me? I bought the X because I wanted to have the system because I like to buy and have everything. Like, that's just.
Yeah, you're a very minority when it comes to consumers.
Yeah, so. Like I just buy everything just to have everything, because I just like to play games. But I don't think at that point are they gonna knock off Sony when they have God of War and like all their new games that they showed in Spider-Man the same year. No, are you gonna have anything to go against Nintendo when they show Metroid and Pokemon, especially Pokemon? No. That's like you don't got.
They don't need to knock off Sony. They just need to have a better year than 2017.
This year was a fucking disaster.
But that's the thing is, though, can you do that? Because
that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
The thing is, like, Nintendo's consistent throughout the year is what they showed this year, and they're planning to do that again next year. Sony demolishes everything in sight apparently at the beginning of the year,
and then lays off for third parties.
Yeah, and then they let the third parties do their thing. But the thing is, Sony's getting out of not only third party way, they getting out of Nintendo's way too with Pokemon and all of their franchises, because they really don't have anything to compete with Pokemon. So you don't have Gears next year. You don't have Halo next year, and that we know of. Yeah. And then Forza is also declining in sales every time. So it's like you don't have, and none of these franchises have stuck. Trust me, I bought every one of them except Dead Rising 4. None of them have stuck. So it's just, what do you have? Are you going to waste brand new franchises to go against these guys who are pretty much cemented and they're rolling? They got a situation, and the box was never the problem. It's the fans who don't get the chance.
They're going to have to excite the fan base with something like a Perfect Dark that nobody saw coming, Perfect Dark or something like that, to get people hyped.
What would really do it for me, to show good faith, if I was Phil, and I've been saying this to like people like Zen and other people, he always says he goes to Japan. He keeps saying that every couple of months. I've been to Japan. The result, though. Yeah, we never see the result. The fact that Ninja Gaiden is not exclusive to Xbox One is mind-boggling to me because you need something.
Yeah.
Like Ninja Gaiden should be there. If they had any kind of like balls about them, they would get somebody else or a Platinum and then work it back out and make Scalebound happen, dog. You got to do something. You have to have bigger games. You can't like they were super indie focused at E3 this year, which a lot of people like they had all these games. I'm not buying a $500 console for indies. I want to see what this thing can do. Like, I don't care. Like, Ashen looks cool, but no, I'm not gonna spend like the $24.99 on that game for the $500 console. Like, you gotta show what's up.
Or a cell shaded Crackdown.
Yeah.
Right. Or yeah, exactly. Which is like,
like
you know,
that
what I'm saying?
should never been. Oh, this is gonna be the game. With
exactly.
Like, how can you show Crackdown 3 the way it looks? Say this is the power of the Xbox One X, and then you look over at Sony, they're showing Spider-Man. They're showing God of War. They're showing Days Gone. Those games visually shit on anything Microsoft is showing you right now.
And by the way, it was 30 frames per second.
Yeah, and it was also 30 frames per second.
And that's the thing too, is with like the vast difference in power that it is between the X and the Pro. Like everyone thought, and even for the Switch, everyone assumed Sony and Nintendo would sweat. The only problem is that since Nintendo and Sony have been there, they have cultivated fan bases who are willing to try other things. When Sony moves away from a franchise and Sony says they're done, the fan base accepts it for what it is. Microsoft fans don't do that. Like, they don't move on to newer games. And like, as Xbox fans, everybody, we got to be more receptive, dog. Like, we got to give things a chance. And just because it's not Gears and Halo, you know, we can't shut down and say we don't want it.
That's with the Xbox, you know, fanboy or whatever. They have to do that. Like, they have to buy those games when they come.
Yeah. At least Cuphead seems to be doing all right. It sold like 600,000 on Steam. It did 1 million totals. That means at least 400,000 of these guys bought it on Xbox. So,
but it's the thing is, it's still from the NES. I'm like, show it on Xbox, dog. How are we not buying these games? Like, like I'm not. There's no way that game should have sold more on PC. When I heard that, I was like, why is this a thing? I don't even play the sales games like that, but it's just like the fact that the PC crowd is pretty much the audience that kept this afloat is ridiculous. And then you got PlayStation
you're
guys
100% right. It should have never sold more on PC.
Yeah, that's ridiculous,
true.
dude.
That is true.
Like,
because it was always the market
games.
Xbox game.
Exactly. We don't buy games in the Xbox crowd, and we all beg and bitch and moan when Sony and Nintendo show new stuff. But then when we get new games in the Xbox crowd, there's only a couple of us showing up, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
Nia, thoughts? Xbox gonna have a rough year 2018, or are they gonna be killing it with the power? 6 teraflops gonna carry them to win.
I can't really see them having any surprise games next year out of the blue like that. Like Chris said, if they don't have no games, man, they're gonna be in the same situation, bro. Because we've obviously seen, like, it's not about your console, it's not about the power that you have. It's about whether or not you have convincing software that makes you stand out against the competition. And if they don't have that next year, then they're going to be in the same situation, man. That's just real. It is what it is at this point, I feel like.
T, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree. The games, when they do get these more varied games that they're not stapled franchise games, Xbox fans have to show up because they can't complain about their exclusives going to PC and whatnot if they're not supporting them at the end of the day. So, I mean, they're gonna need some surprises. They need, here's Fable. We got rid of that, but it's coming back as the Fable, not this kind of free to play thing they were doing. They were doing for Fable for a while, or they're gonna need, like I said, a Perfect Dark, something to excite the fan base. That's a good surprise. I don't see it happening. I think the Xbox One X is going to give it a nice boost, and I'm going to get one at some point because I like the whole, as a retro gamer, I love the fact that they're enhancing all these old games. I think that's pretty cool, even though some people make fun of it. Oh, that's all you guys got, that kind of thing. But I actually think that's pretty cool as a retro gamer. And I already have a backlog that I can enhance on my X, so that's cool. But they need that and I just think the Xbox One is not going to sell much more than it is at right now, especially if they don't bring something, or they're going to need more than something. They're going to need a few games to drive more install base. So we'll see.
Facts.
Yep.
He muted.
Where did
Oh,
Alex
okay.
go?
He muted.
He said he'd be right back.
Oh.
Well,
Dang.
I don't really know where else he was going with this.
Everybody pretty much answered it already.
No, I didn't go.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, Ariel.
I guess this past couple of years has been all about the power, all about the Xbox One X. Now that's all out the way. Phil Spencer has been promoted, and I think since he's been promoted, like more things are getting done. And soon as after the launch of the Xbox One X, I think it was a little bit before. That's when they actually saying that they got that under construction right now, building more studios in which that they had, they should have been doing it years ago. So they basically going almost a full generation without taking their exclusives very seriously. That's what they messed up at.
The thing that I don't understand with Microsoft right now is that Shannon Lofty's lady, just like a couple of months ago, and she's been saying this for a little while now, she didn't really seem too concerned about, their first party software lineup. She basically was kind of giving the impression that she feels that their first party lineup is okay, and that everything that they do have in the pipeline is pretty much going to be great, and it's going to be fun, and the people are going to love it. And then you have this report from Phil Spencer, just like the other day, saying, well, now they're finally going to start buying more studios and getting serious about first party. So part of me is like, I don't really know if that Shannon Lofty's person was lying, and this whole time they have been having something lined up, because like I mentioned before, I can't see them just having like a surprise big hitter next year.
She Reggie Fils-Aimé. That's basically what she did. She lied. She lies all the time. But this E3 come, whatever E3 gets here, we're gonna soon find out. Since the Xbox One X is out the way, it's dead and gone. It's gone, and now they need to get back to business. And at the end of the day, it's all about the games. Nintendo and Sony, they got that on lockdown when it comes to their first party games.
They're gonna have to, man, because I want a reason to get an Xbox. Like, I want a reason to get an Xbox, but it's like they're not really giving me much incentive right now.
Yeah, everybody is.
I mean, I don't know. Again, like I said, I want to see Microsoft do it. I want to see everybody in the industry do it, because it's not fun. Which is why I'm glad Nintendo concept. It's like, it's not fun to watch PlayStation push everybody around, because then they don't try. So anyone's gonna do that. Anyone who's in the league for too long and doesn't feel any heat, they're gonna get lazy, and then that means that platform and that suffers. So if Nintendo's like pushing everybody, then everybody else wants to get up. But Microsoft, because they're in more direct competition, they have to be able to, get at Sony and body them back, bro. Like, y'all got too much money, dog. Y'all got too much money to not have games. That's the thing. Is like, it's like Sony and Nintendo was like, Nintendo's the OG on the block. Sony, that kid that's been around for a while. He got his own lane, and you can't really fuck with him in his lane. And even though Microsoft is like the newer one, they got the rich kid on the block, bro. Ain't no reason you shouldn't have games. Ain't no reason you shouldn't have teams, because you invest in all these things, but it's nothing that really contributes to making your brand better.
Exactly.
It's like you invest into this, and that's their thing is that no matter what Microsoft really does, and I think that's the way they just look at stuff. Like, they can take a failure. Sony and Nintendo, when they get a failure, because they don't have as much money as Microsoft, they got to learn from it, and they got to come back harder. If Microsoft just like burns out on something, they just like, okay, who cares? We gonna make hand over fist for the next thing, so it doesn't matter. But for the Xbox brand, it's more so like, I don't want this to happen, but if I was in charge there, and I'm pretty sure this is what Phil's going for, when he was talking about buying studios, Hitman, I'd own that franchise.
Man, he better go get them.
Yeah.
Like especially because Square Enix just dropped them. Ain't no reason IO shouldn't have been sitting in. They shouldn't have been sitting there because the day Kojima left, the day after Sony put up a video talking about guess who we got. So it was the legit day after he left.
That's true.
Konami. So it's like you got that money. You know what I'm saying? Like IO should be over there. Ninja Gaiden should be an Xbox thing. And if it was me, you know, I mean, Crystal Dynamics, they got their thing. They should have had a partnership. Rise of Tomb Raider should have never seen the light of day anywhere else.
Yeah,
never.
True.
Yep.
Like they put money into everything, and it goes everywhere else. Like Sony and
been there Uncharted.
Yeah, Sony and Nintendo, when they put money into something, it's theirs. Which is why Sony didn't do the Sunset Overdrive, which I was pissed about. But I don't blame them. I'm not going to give you money for you to go help somebody else. Microsoft gives these guys money and they go elsewhere. And then it sells elsewhere. It sells better than it does anywhere else. Yeah. So it makes you look bad. And you got too much money for that.
Yeah. And a lot of the thing too is that like one thing that I would like to see Microsoft do is actually allow these new things to become franchises. Like I know a lot of people crapped on like that Rise Son of Rome game because it was very linear, but I feel like it was still a step in the right direction. They came out with something that was new, exactly, and it was something that had potential. Like if you see something didn't work, like don't just drop it. Like try again, you know, refine it, make it better the next go round, and that's why. You know, people like to crap on Nintendo because they have a lot of same IPs that's been around since the 80s, but it's like they've built cultures around these franchises.
Yeah.
That's the reason why you see certain quote unquote mascots in games and they pretty much are the faces of gaming is because they've built a culture around these franchises. And that's one thing that Microsoft lacks. They don't have a culture surrounding their software. And as long as you have a culture surrounding your software, you will always have a buyer.
But that's something too. Like Nintendo doesn't do it so much because their guys are kind of like icons. But even with like Splatoon, like they're one of their newer entries. It has a crazy fan base who will cosplay for that, who draws for that. They like foam at it. Yeah, they foam at the mouth for that. And I've been saying this too since like the Xbox One has came out. Like we have to rebrand Xbox, and Phil either needs to decide how to do it, but he has to do it for his fan base, and you kind of have to force it. You have to wean the fan base off of Gears and Halo, bro. Yeah. They're too dependent on that. And you've been in the industry long enough to have more than Marcus and Chief. You know what I'm saying? Hell, like when the new PlayStation comes out, they get a new mascot every time. Sony's the only company that don't have a legit mascot. It changes every console. So you need to do the same and follow suit. Like bring something else, bro. Quantum Break, don't drop it just because it didn't sell the best. Like, just do something else, work with it, keep them going, and then get something else
out there. As the game is what they liked and didn't like about the game, like, and then use that and make a better game next time. Like,
are we really going for 3 hours?
Yeah,
something like that.
It's going. Like I have to get up early in the morning, and I can't end this because we're not done yet.
Where is Alex?
I'm recording.
He gonna take a poo-poo. He take a poo-poo.
What do they call these hours?
If Coupon was here, this would have never been allowed. You already know she'll try to shut this down in a hot minute.
We do got to wrap up.
I don't have anything to do, so I'm good.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry about that.
I'm waiting on my girl trying to play Switch right now.
Okay, yeah, we can get out of here. We can just do our outros. Who wants to go first?
I don't care.
All right, I'm gonna go first. All right, y'all. Thanks for having me. You know, y'all throw your invite. Let me know. Real. I'm sorry to sign the force to suck. It's okay, dog.
Up yours. All
right, Nia.
What's good, everybody? It's your girl, Nia, TheVideoGamHer, and it's been a really, really good discussion. I'm sorry I sound tired, but y'all know it's way past my bedtime right now. But this was a legitimately good discussion. I thoroughly enjoyed tonight. Thanks to Real and Chris and Mr. T for coming on, man. It's always a pleasure when we get guests, especially guests as articulate as you all and very thoughtful as you all. So we would love to have you guys on the show again.
Damn right.
Sunday. Yeah,
See my
make sure
face,
you
you can
guys
see that
check
I'm
out Real
blushing.
Gamer on Real Gamer 27. Make sure you check out Mr. T. That's MIZZAHTEE, just in case. These guys make great content. Chris used to make content, but he kind of fell off. But you know what I'm saying?
Man, Chris got to work, man, too much.
Yeah.
I work too much, bro.
I feel you. I feel you. So yeah, man. Thank you guys for coming through. Appreciate it.
All right, Mr. T.
Awesome discussion, guys. Thanks for having me on. It was a blast. It's also a joy for me to share, my passion for gaming with other passionate gamers who are articulate, as Nia said, about their passion. So it was a great time. Look forward to coming on again. And like I always say, play Nintendo, fools.
Chris?
I did mine. I said Sonic sucks.
Oh, okay.
It's around.
Real?
Yeah, I appreciate you letting me on again. Second straight week out of, love to come back on the show. We had fun. Fucking Chris and me and Mr. T, this is our second podcast today. So
I know, y'all should be tired,
Yeah, we better get up out here before the YouTube police come after us. We podcast and play video games. So
Damn.
yeah, let me get out here before some drama gets started. So peace.
All right, and Active Sin here is a fun cast. Thanks, T, Real, and Chris for coming on, talking some Nintendo, Odyssey, some goodness, greatness. We'll be back, I think, tomorrow for Real Talk. Yeah, that should be fun.
Man. Jesus.
So many podcasts, too many. We're trying to crack gamer here. What's going on? But other than that, we're out of here, people. Thanks for dropping by. It was a lot of fun, and we will see you next time.
Sonic sucks.
Sonic does suck.
Yeah, you just had to throw it out.